Hear us now, and now you can see some of us in the right positions. Hello and welcome to the Vagabonds D&D game under Baggage Claim D&D. I don't know how we do it. I don't know why I can never get this right. But
I'm playing Ezekiel tonight.
Yeah, apparently the internet is going very slow for everybody. Myself mostly included. I think that should be it. And I'm not going to change everyone's names on there because it's already right. So we are missing a player tonight. Sadly, George will not be with us. But we will persevere anyway. Now, George was supposed to give the recap, so he sent me what he wrote. And I am going to do my best to read it in that voice.
Oh.
So, you know, the one that he does, the radio guy.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
I was like,
that voice.
I'm not Vagabonds.
I thought George had written, like, do this in Fetch's voice or something.
Please don't.
I would clap.
So, I think that let me make sure my Roll20 is actually open first. No, but maybe it will be by the time we get through the recap. So, yeah, sorry for everyone watching, every one of us that's on the stream watching us. Last week we had like an in-person thing, and then we'll have another one of those on Halloween, or the Saturday around Halloween, so there will be no streamed session. So, I guess deal with it. Cry about it.
Maybe, like, go drink some Canada Dry.
Yeah. Send them a letter on our behalf. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what George had written last time. Last time on the Vagabonds, our group of adventurers delved deeper into the mines, first dealing with weird slime lizards with some kind of mind-altering power that turned an Ira on the party. Next, they met up with their new large-jawed friend Zorn from 87th born of Zorn from the House of Zorn. In exchange for some diamonds, Zorn gave the party information on what lies ahead. The party quickly made their way to an old grove of sentient mushrooms, and after a brief trip experiencing the mushrooms' hive mind, Anira decided to stay behind. Will we lose any more vagabonds to the mushrooms? How many vagabonds does it take to pull a sentient coat off Varus? And will Zorn ever satiate his hunger for jewels? All this and more on the Vagabonds. So thank you, George, for that.
Code.
That was a pretty good George narrator impression.
I do what I can.
I couldn't tell the difference. It's like George was here with us tonight.
Okay, well, hopefully that stays because someone's gonna have to play him. So
I can do it.
I was gonna say I nominate
Go, Jevin!
Jevin.
Spirit Guardians.
And this time you can break his wrist.
There you go. Yeah.
Take that, George. Fuck you.
Okay, so you should have control. All right, let me set the music real quick. Oh, I do have to change one thing really fast. So please talk amongst yourselves. Well, let me just set the mood first, and then you all can talk while I do this. Okay, so we certainly don't need calm music.
But it could just be calm.
No calmness.
Just be vibing.
Vibing in the mushroom cave, you know?
You all have found yourselves in a damp but warm large cavern surrounded by a huge variety of different types of mushrooms. The various different stalks and caps rise up around you, creating a veritable forest of fungus, within which you have found a brief respite from the dangers and monsters of the surrounding cavework. When you entered, and since you have arrived, you've seen dozens of different types of creatures, all sprouting mushrooms from places on their bodies, shuffling about the space, venturing from one circle of walking, moving sprouts, and bi or quadrupedal, and moving things to another, settling in and stuffing their roots back into the black soil before communing with one another in an apparent search for the circle. A nearly hypnotic display of multicolored lights flares about the space, with each communion in the dangling stalactites overhead, coated with clusters of miniature-capped shrooms, provide a dim light that reveals the enormity and variety of life within the space. Everything from huge and hulking monstrosities rendered timid and meek to mushroom-coated rats and other small animals, all living in total community with one another. all sharing one mind, one set of thoughts. Some of you participated in this union, albeit temporarily, and one of your group, Anira, made the difficult decision to stay. You settled in for a night of rest, protected from the immediate intrusion by any of the mushroom people, and have the night ahead of you. This is where we'll pick up. So if you have anything that you would like to do or say to one another as you settle in for the night, feel free to do so. I have to adjust cameras real quick, so for future stuff.
So, I take it the mind melding was a big thing. You guys okay?
It was certainly something.
It was a unique experience. I felt much closer to anyone than I have ever felt before, and I miss that feeling.
Don't think it'd be right, though. Tempting, but it's not right. For me, at least, right now.
No, I can't imagine enjoying anyone in my mind at any time.
I've had enough of other people speaking in my mind. Thank you very much.
Excuse me?
I thought we'd been over this, the spirits of the dead.
Oh, yeah. I forget that you hear dead people.
Only sometimes, but most of the time.
What's it like in a graveyard? Are there more dead there than there are, like... Well...
Don't know, it really depends. I don't think the dead are really confined to the graveyard, necessarily. I don't know, I've never really asked them.
So can you communicate with any dead person?
I don't particularly choose who I communicate with. Only whatever spirits happen to be passing by at the time. Unless I have some sort of spiritual connection to the person. Like those trinkets you've seen me carrying.
Oh, so like if you had a trinket, you could talk to them?
Usually it has to be something very specialized. A part of their soul, perhaps, even.
Okay. Well.
But I think right now we have bigger concerns than that. You should all rest up for the journey ahead.
Yeah, what's our immediate path that we're taking? Do we know?
Down.
I mean,
You said some-
Zorn
Go
told
ahead.
us to go through. I don't know, I had a hard time with his mouth being all of his body.
He said something about taking the right path and then finding the tombs of the giants. Or something of that nature.
Zarius, didn't you write this? Oh, he's already asleep. Great. I guess we'll just have to wing it then, as we always do. I don't. Do we need to take watches? I feel comfortable.
I'll stay up for a little bit. Watch.
I believe I will be taking a watch as well still.
Harry, how are you feeling?
I think. Can I hug you for the night, Vars?
Always.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
Would you like to take an early watch, Kanan, and then I can take a later one?
Yeah, I'll take first watch. I can't stay up all night, but I can't go to sleep just yet, so.
I will offer to take the other 2 watches. I would rather not, but if either of you don't feel comfortable, I will take those.
Oh, I mean, I personally think we'll be fine. I just can't sleep yet.
Do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Well then, night-night.
All right. So everyone's headed to sleep except for Kanan staying up. And Ezekiel, you staying up right away, or are you going to go to sleep for a little while?
No, he's gonna take, like, if he can, wake up a little bit earlier than everyone else to take that last watch, kind of the 4th watch, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So you all settle in, and Naira has been characteristically quiet, but she's there as well. It seems that she's settling in and kind of, taking you all in with a few long last looks. And eventually she settles in as well. So, Kanan, during your watch, is there anything that you are wanting to do or look for or practice or try or...
Kanan's gonna go through her box, kind of just go through every article that's in there, looking at like the bracelet. I think the ogre. I have Corzin's coin that he gave us, and even for a brief second, she's gonna take out the hand and just kind of look at it. Just be like, huh. And then throw it back in there real quick. Shut the box.
When you take the hand out, you notice that it looks exactly the same as it did when you removed it. It has not decayed. It doesn't show any signs of wear or rot. It's exactly the same.
Gross. Yep. She throws it in there real quick and closes the top.
Okay.
And then she's gonna get up and instead of staying around the camp, she'll walk out a ways back to where they came from, just looking at different rocks, just getting a breath of air that isn't quite so fresh because it's however hundreds of feet deep in the ground.
And filled with mushroom spores.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you notice as you're going through the items and kind of, walking around, some of the mushroom creatures, they just watch you, but it's like very passive watching. They're not like tracking your movements. It seems more just out of curiosity, like how a cat would watch you from a window. Just like, yeah, okay, you're there, but whatever. But they don't really, nobody takes any action towards you or anything like that, so. After a few hours, you return and settle in for some sleep. And we can fast forward to Ezekiel. You rouse yourself, getting ready for your watch. Unless anyone else had anything they wanted to do, I don't want to rush by anything. Okay. Ezekiel, you rouse yourself for your watch, the last watch. Is there anything you would like to accomplish?
Anything he does? No, not particularly. He has his lantern, but very low light, so it doesn't bother the others.
Okay.
Kind of observes, watches what he can within the dim light. Maybe once in a while pulls out the locket. Other than that, he's just kind of getting ready because checking his supplies, that sort of thing.
Okay, good. Maybe 30 minutes before everyone else starts to get up, after you've been up for a little while, getting your stuff ready, Naira wakes up, and you see her not frantically, but kind of hurriedly going through her pack and sitting and, holding something very close to her chest. And it seems like she's, in deep consideration. And after a few minutes of thinking about it, she turns to you and says, I know we weren't exactly close, and you're not exactly a member of the Anthracene, But I'm not going to be using this, and I thought that you've seen Tadriel more than any of us. You're going to know his movements and stuff better than anyone else. So here, take this. And she holds out the bone dagger. Use it when the time is right.
What is this?
Well, it's a rib, but it's supposed to help us kill Tadriel.
That's morbid, but that's not unusual for me.
So,
Are you sure you want to give this to me? Surely someone else might make better use of it.
No, Look, can you just take it? I was supposed to use it. It was supposed to be mine, but it's yours now.
Very well. If you think it will help, I will gladly take it.
I hope so.
Thank you.
I'll say, see you later. And you see Anira get up and pack her things and head out into the mushroom area.
Alright. Zuko watches for a moment as she walks off and then just kind of goes back to his things.
Okay.
Probably puts the bone dagger away in a bag.
Okay.
Or packs it away or puts it on his belt or whatever, wherever it goes.
The rest of you, after a little while longer, wake up, and you notice that Xarius is in a deep, deep sleep. A very deep sleep. You see his eyes moving under his eyelids as if he's dreaming intensely. And you all will have to wait until next time to find out what happened in Xarius' dream.
It was that good.
It's very good.
Polydux's melatonin.
It's like a third or a quarter of the descriptions that I wrote for today, so it's a whole bunch of cool stuff. So,
Tune in next week.
yeah, to find out what happened in his dream.
Next time on the
The
Vagabonds.
Vagabonds. Will Xarius wake up?
Okay. A little while later, Xarius wakes as well. You all gather your things, and as you gather your things and prepare to depart, the large mushroom man who led you into this space before uproots his legs and rises to his full height, around 6 feet, and holds his arms to the sides openly. You hear in your minds many voices, including Anira's, speaking as one, saying, "Be safe in your travels. These caverns are home to many dangers. May the hands of fate guide you."
Thanks.
Well, I don't think I could leave this any sooner, so Hayden will start leaving the
Okay.
big mind meld.
Okay. So you all gather your things and venture out into the cave, the winding and narrow passageways that you've become somewhat accustomed to in times past, because you've been walking through them for quite some time. So, where are we? Gotta change the music again. Okay. You press outward of the large mushroom area, and you see it's an area similar to the entrance as you leave, right? It's like a big buildup of mushrooms, and slowly, as you get further and further away, the amount of mushrooms on the sides reduces until it's back to almost nothing, and then eventually just regular, plain old cave wall. You press on through the heavy darkness that surrounds you, the cave walls waxing and waning, winding this way and that. A few hours pass, and occasionally you have to climb a short wall or hop down a drop-off, and the pathway is always descending down, down, and further down. As you travel, you notice a dozen or so winding paths that reach up and out of sight, extending upward from the cave ceiling, but you continue downward instead, as you'd have to climb vertically up these things. They're like holes in the ceiling. Those of you with the body mechanics to do so feel your ears pop several times in your descent, and once more feel the temperature rise to a balmy and humid state. After another hour of walking, you feel your clothing sticking to your bodies from sweat, and in the distance behind you, you hear the echoes of creatures that you saw before. What would you like to do?
Forces the sword out, just preemptively.
Okay.
Well, it must be
Stay
on the
close.
right track, because it's getting not reassuring again.
You have a pretty darn good point.
But staying close, you said, Kanan. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Are y'all picking up the pace at all, or staying the same normal speed?
Same speed.
I've zonked out Zarius on my back.
He's there. He's coherent at
Wake
this
up!
point. Okay, you push forward, hoping to avoid another conflict in these tight quarters if possible, and soon you leave the echoes behind you. As you do so, more of the openings in the ceiling appear overhead, almost like a honeycomb of sorts. And you imagine that there must be some creatures, like the Zorn perhaps, capable of navigating these caves through those tunnels. The tunnel that you are currently traveling through has begun to narrow somewhat, squeezing you down and forcing the taller of you to hunch. The humidity has grown more intense, and you find not only your brows slick with sweat, but the floors and walls of the cave slick with moss and algae. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw. Don't worry, it's nothing crazy.
Not the two high decks, guys.
Oh, everybody.
Rolling fours and
It's
threes.
not too bad, he says. Hey,
And Jevin, will you roll for Zarius also?
Can you nat 20 this as Zarius, please?
Yeah, right. When George isn't here.
or Nat 1 breaks his
21. Okay.
Not that 21.
So I forgot to get before. What's the order of march here? I imagine Kanan's in the front.
Boris will probably be right behind.
Okay.
Harriet's probably in the back.
I'm not going in the back again, I'm in the middle.
Harriet's in the back.
There will be between them.
Okay. So, yeah, Kanan continues forward, no problem. Zarius, or Varus, you walk and you trip, but not over the slickness of the moss, but your foot catches on a root that runs across the ground. Not seeing this right away, Harriet and Ezekiel also trip, while Zarius, lost in thought, just continues along the other side. But you see, as you kind of pick yourself back up off the ground and look, you see a large exposed root that runs across the cave floor. What would you like to do?
Did anybody see this before? Has this been here the whole time?
I mean, it definitely hit my foot.
It's very dark, I can't really see much.
It reached out. Did say something there?
Yeah, there's a whole branch.
It's a whole root.
root.
Oh.
Normally,
was worried
wouldn't-
something-
You can't tell by us being piled on top of each other right now.
Yeah. Come on, let's get up. Come on.
It happens pretty
I'll
often.
be right back.
That happens pretty often.
What do you mean?
Well, you guys.
Darius, get
fall.
back here!
Oh shit! Sorry.
Darius is
That was
the
pretty
one
good.
coming off cliffs and whatnot.
Normally, I wouldn't pay this sort of thing any mind, but down here in this cave, any sort of thing is worth investigating.
Anyone have an axe?
I wish I knew what kind of root it was. Is it
Nah.
My
if-
problem.
If
Is it
only
a
we had a
frog
druid with us to tell us what kind of root this was.
No, that's not what I meant. I wish I could see the root, investigate it, percept it more.
You ever had that
It's not
impulse?
here right now, so good luck.
But
You can't
I don't-
perceive.
God isn't here, so I can't do
I
that.
don't feel compelled to roll an
God has
investigation
left us.
check.
God has left the chair.
Make an investigation check if you want to check out the root more.
Yes, please.
He's returned.
Can both of us do it, or just
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine. You're both
'cause
talking about it.
Pretty sure I'm good at investigation.
I am not.
Yeah, Varus, you are like, dang, that is a root, if I've ever seen one. Ezekiel, you're like,
Yeah.
yes, that is a root. But you notice that it looks like a tree root. It looks like one that you've seen break up streets or crack the foundation of buildings. You know, just a regular tree root. Although you do notice that the exposed like bark is, it's like soft almost. It's almost rubbery, and it has a purple hue to it. It's not really like an intense purple, but it's just kind of squishy and purple-ish, like an essence of purple.
Okay. And I'm assuming we don't see a tree that this is immediately connected to.
No, it exposes up out of the stone and goes
Yeah,
across
okay.
and then back into the stone on the other side.
Well, it's quite the strange route, but
I think it's a pretty nice
immediate
route.
concern.
I mean, it's not the strangest thing we've seen.
Sometimes
like-
it's the things that are the least strange that tend to be the most dangerous.
But what do we do? I mean, it's a route.
We keep walking is what we do. Just
I mean, it means there's some sort of life up ahead. You know, we can have something that isn't just Zarius's mash.
Darius's mash.
are you suggesting that we eat the tree?
He makes. Well, there's lots of edible plants.
I'm not sure I really want to consume anything from down
Maybe
in
it
this
makes
cave.
good tea. Cave root tea.
I'd drink
Yeah.
Can we continue on?
that. No, we can't. We're gonna keep standing here and debating this route.
Told you the root of our
Very
problems
well.
right now.
No, let's go.
All right, you push forward and find that the tunnel rapidly shrinks down before a small opening appears, no more than 3
Oh,
feet
dear.
tall and wide. Each of you can fit, but only one at a
Guys.
time.
This is not ideal.
The hole is blocked off by it's like a panel of wood or something like that that has been set in place. So, I mean, from your side, it's very obvious that it's there because you see, you know, the tunnel shrink down and the thing sitting there. But yeah, who's going through, or are you going through?
I can slip through and then let you guys know what's ahead.
All
You
right.
want to be invisible when you do that?
No, I'll just be plain Jane me. All right.
Do it.
Just have your hands in there for my feet or something. I'd hate to do a repeat of us in
Oh.
the ruins of. Oh gosh, where was that?
Let's not think about that.
But no,
let's not
no,
manifest that
no.
energy. Let's keep it okay. You'll be
Okay.
all right.
All right. So, Kanan, you approach and you push open the door.
Yeah.
Barricade thing. All right, make an athletics check.
Rush in the barricade. Les Mis moment.
12. You open the door and see empty chairs at empty tables. I'm just kidding.
No!
My friends once were.
All right. So you have to kind of give it some effort, but you manage to push this thing out, and it kind of makes that like pop noise when you just wedge a door out of place, and it just pushes down, lays flat. You pass through the opening, and you see what you notice about the door as you push it down is it's wider around on the other side. So it looks like it would be flush with that side. So from that side, you probably would have a hard time finding it, but from this side, it's very obvious. You pass through the opening and you see a large cavern. Not quite as big as the one in the Mushroom Kingdom, but the size of like a small tavern entrance, with a tree set exactly in the center. This chamber is rounded on all sides, and you don't immediately see another exit. The floor underfoot is solid rock, that the tree's roots have wormed their way into, and the tree itself is about 30 feet tall, branches and leaves included. Now that you're looking around and looking at the tree, make a nature check. You notice that this tree appears physically to just be like an ordinary tree, like many others that you've seen. However, on a little bit of a closer inspection, and with the help of, well, firstly, Ezekiel, is your lantern on?
Yes.
Okay. So with the help of some of the natural light coming in from Ezekiel's lantern, you see that the leaves are a deep hue of purple on one side and a pale lavender on the other. The bark is soft to the touch, and even though the trunk is large, you get the sense that you could push your hand into it with enough force. What would you like to do?
Huh. Does this tree look like it's rotting to anyone? And Kanan will just give it a nice punch.
We can't see it.
I can't see that far.
You're the only one in there. Okay, so you're just smacking the tree?
Someone in the room is like, no.
Yeah.
Sword?
So Kanan, you cock back and give it just a solid slug. And to your surprise, as you hit it, it's soft. It's like hitting a training punching bag or something like that, but softer. And your fist does go into it a good inch or two. And as you withdraw, it seems you could see an imprint of your fist in the bark. And after maybe 30 seconds or so, it recovers back out, creating the same texture that it was before.
Huh. Guys, you should come in here. Check this tree out. I don't know much about plants, but this one, like, bounces.
Is it the tree with the roots we were looking at?
Maybe? I can only
I'm gonna come
assume
take a
it's the
look.
only tree I've seen.
Well, I'm in the
I'm
back,
next
so
to
you guys have
these
to move
roots.
first.
Forrest will walk in.
Okay. You get down and you crawl inside the space. I assume everybody's going in?
And everyone else, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you all get in and you see that tree there. And just this large, almost dome-shaped chamber. What would you like to do?
Can I look around for, like, other life? Like,
Yeah,
I don't explain that,
are you
but
just looking for like other plant life or other like creatures or anything?
other creatures, like, I guess movement, maybe, or, like...
Okay. Even with your passive perception, you notice this isn't that big of a space. You know, the top of it is like 35 feet. So you can take all this in one sweep, looking around. And you don't see anything else in there. It doesn't seem like this chamber is inhabited by anything. It just seems like this tree sprouted and grew here.
Well, this is great.
I mean, how did a tree get down here with no light or rain?
Maybe it's a funky tree. Maybe it lives off of darkness?
I don't know how trees work, so I just burn them down.
Maybe you should burn this one down.
Somehow I think that's not a good idea.
I gave you
Burning,
that impression.
because we're underground in a bunch of tunnels.
Just consume all the
Not
oxygen.
I'm not trying to smoke us out. Would be a very last-minute plan.
So, do we even care about this tree then?
I mean, if we want to stop and have some tea by this tree, I don't know what else we're doing. Apparently, Kanan's punching it. But...
I mean,
Is that your fist?
squishy.
Is that your fist imprint on the tree?
Well, maybe. I mean, I've never seen a squishy tree.
You thought you'd punch it?
Yeah,
That checks out.
you should try it. It's not that bad.
Why? Punching it?
Yeah.
Can I look around? Are there other exits to this room?
You
I
can't
know
make
you
an
said there
investigation
wasn't,
check.
but if I can
Other exits.
specifically search around. Ooh.
18. You take a look around, checking around the edges of the chamber, and you find there is, just like the door that you entered in, there is one that's set up against it. You didn't notice it on your first pass around, but as you came back, you see there's just a little, just a fine edge that you could stick your fingers in and pull out if you wanted to.
Hey, there's another door over here. Kind of like the other one set into the wall here.
Oh, well, if you need to help pushing it open, I can help. This last one was a bit heavy.
I suppose that's alright.
Have we considered why the doors are this tiny? Like, what uses them? And if we should be
Tiny?
worried?
Aren't
I
dwarves
think-
small?
Not that small.
No. We've
Well,
met
I
dwarves.
no, I mean, I guess I've seen a couple dwarves.
But aren't we already worried about everything? It's bound to be something nasty no matter what. Plus, this seems to be the only way forward. So we're gonna have to go there eventually.
I like this guy's pessimistic attitude.
All right. I mean, we can
But I
open the
do
door.
agree. Yeah, I think we should go.
This tree is confusing, but I don't think we can find out any more about it from here.
I'm good to move on. I don't need to punch a tree.
Hello?
All right. So who's opening the door?
I can help you, Ezekiel, or whoever else wants
In
to.
and
do it.
offered.
Okay.
You got
So-
the Kanan?
Hello.
All right. So Ezekiel, go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage.
Oh,
thanks
I
to-
was gonna let other people do it. Like literally just let other people do it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Ezekiel's not even gonna try and open it.
All right.
Not very strong. Someone else can open it. I probably wouldn't have a chance.
So who's opening the door?
Kanan.
Okay.
Kanan rolled a 16, I think.
Okay. Just got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
easy peasy. I mean, it's just set in place. It's not like it's, wedged in there or anything. You managed to reach in and pop it open, no problem. And you see a same size entrance, just a 3 foot by about 3 foot hole you can enter into. Are you heading in there?
I mean, worst comes to worst, it's another tree. So,
I don't think that's worse. Comes to worse.
I can think of a lot of worse things, but yes, let's do it. I'll be the first if nobody else wants to.
oh, I'm already in there.
Oh, I will be number 2.
Okay.
Hayden dives. One hole.
You enter in.
Belly first.
Belly first. And first things first, as soon as you start to enter in, you see what is the most obvious rope trap that you have ever seen. It's not covered by anything. It's a different color than the ground. It's a bright yellow rope. So it's very easy to avoid. You don't need to make any kind of check or anything like that. You see it, and there's no way to even trigger it to grab you. It just is very obvious. You manage to avoid the very obvious rope trap and crawl into the new space. And the rest of you are following, I assume.
Hey guys, watch out! There's like an amateur rope trap. Just crawl
Is
over.
it like a diversion for a bigger trap?
I don't see anything in
I
here.
don't trust this anymore. Like, it's just too bad. Whatever.
I don't think we have any other options.
I can't, like, get around it anyways. I'm, like, crammed in here.
All right. So immediately as you enter into this new space, the intense smell of thick vegetation hits you. And you find that, strangely, you can see. More precisely, you can see, those of you with dark vision, can see in normal vision. Looking around, you see a vast forest, broken up by bouts of rock and cliff edges, illuminated by a pale and ethereal light, like that of an eclipse. That light descends from high above your heads, where you see, easily 200 or 300 feet above, a complexly woven orb of some kind of material. Whether it's plant, magical, or otherwise, you can't be sure from this distance without further investigation. The trees here appear to be a mixture of the purple type that you saw in the previous chamber, and ones that you normally see on the surface. A myriad of different chirps, hoots, shouts, and other strange and alien animal noises echo about the space, and you're at once struck by the size of the cavern that you've just entered. The entire thing runs at least a mile long and a half-mile wide, entirely covered in thick jungle. You feel an intense sense of being watched by many sets of eyes as you stand in this place, though you're unable at this point to make out any specific creatures doing the watching. For vision and mechanically, I've just given everyone 60 feet to represent the dim vision of the pale light, because it's not like regular light, so once we have map stuff, we'll get there. So if anyone would like to look around for more details or do any kind of checks on anything, or you're curious about anything, let me know. Otherwise, it's on you all. What would you like to do?
Is anything moving, or does this look still?
The forest, you have some experience in the forest, so make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah, 19. Being a wood elf, you're fairly comfortable in many forests. You've been in quite a few forests most of your life. And it looks very active. Although you don't see anything, you don't see any big game. There's no, big horses or deer or anything running around. You see a few, rabbits and rats and those kinds of small animals skitter across. You see a bunch of the, animal paths go out in all these different directions through the underbrush. You see birds from time to time flit up above the trees, but only for a second or two before they duck back down into the tree line. So it's they'll come up and then drop right back down. You hear a lot of different types of animals, but that would be more if you're curious about trying to figure out and discern what animals they are. That's a different thing. But you notice just that it's like a normal forest that's not disturbed by wind at this point.
Well, do you think it's just the animals watching us, or?
Oh, probably not.
I think we stay on the watch. Something wanted to catch whatever came through that door, so very poorly.
Are there maybe smarter groups out here?
Just have to wait and see, I guess.
You're not more curious about why there's a forest in the middle of a cave.
Yeah. And
I think mushroom forest was a bit weirder than this.
I think mushrooms are normally found in caves.
Yeah. I think this is...
Mushroom people, on the other hand, that was a bit strange.
I mean, we're going to some gate to the realms. Forest.
What if this place is from another realm?
Don't tell me we're in another realm. I'm not ready for that yet.
No, I mean
What?
the influence from the gate has caused some of it to bleed over. I don't know. I don't know if that's how.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I just do find it very strange that there's an entire forest here. With forest animals. How do they live? There's no grass for them to
How do they get down here?
That too.
Where's that light coming from?
Where's that? I could fly up and check it out.
It might be worth checking out. It's a strange plant orb up there.
I can do that right now, or we can just go in and want to get a look first.
Might be smart.
Let's go in. Let's get a brief look, and then I can fly up in a little bit.
All right.
Do this.
Is there anything that you all want to look for specifically as you enter into the space? Or just taking things in
If
general?
anything's, like actively watching us, that's
Okay.
what Kanan
Okay. Biggest things you notice are that you need to make a perception check.
Is that everyone, Matt, or?
No, just can't. I mean, no. If you want to look for something,
Okay.
you can look for it. But yeah. So the big things that you notice, Kanan, with that check is there are birds that are kind of watching you as birds do. It doesn't seem like out of the ordinary, and they don't look like bizarre, strange, alien-looking birds. They just look like birds. But you hear a lot of noises about that are sort of alien to you. Not quite sure. You hear the normal stuff, the like owls and crows and those kinds of things, but you hear a lot of other like chirps and chitters and other noises that you just don't know. It does remind you of a certain place that you've been before, though, where you have heard some of these strange noises. It reminds you of the markets and the training arenas near and around Renovash, where you saw some very large reptilian creatures.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh god!
This is
Jurassic
fine.
Park episode.
What?
I don't know what's going on.
Dinosaurs.
Oh my god. Is anyone else wishing we had an Ira with us to maybe help us know what's out here?
I mean, sometimes not knowing is bliss. Why is God laughing at me?
See,
That's my whole thing. I'm fine not knowing.
I'm sure that we'll find out at some point.
Hey,
Probably.
we are... Guys, hold on. We're big adventurers. We are champions, taking out dictators. Come on.
not any of those things.
Well, what's up?
Go on now.
I'm trying.
In the
I'm
process.
just saying, someone might be scared if we showed up.
Are you
So,
saying that you're scared, Harriet?
no, well, maybe.
I think our chances are slim, but there's not really any turning back now.
If you would like, you can stand behind me.
You won't protect much.
Okay, so are you all staying where you're at, or are you continuing to walk forward? What would you like to do?
Keep going.
Moving forward,
I
yeah.
think we need
Is this a noticeable path on the ground?
You can take a look around and see if you notice a path. This is
I
my-
will look for a path.
Okay.
I will
So you-
look for a path.
Go ahead and make a perception check and see what you perceive about the area around you.
perception.
Okay,
Ooh.
23. You notice that...
that gave us 60 feet of vision. Are we
Yeah.
supposed to be seeing a map here?
You are at the top left is where your characters are.
Okay.
It's a very big map.
So you notice that this was once a somewhat kept pathway that looks as though like loose stones have been gathered and laid out and kept free of underbrush and other debris. So it appears as though somebody is taking a little bit of care of this. You also notice that with that roll, there is every now and then you catch this whiff of a sort of caustic scent, almost to you like it's similar to the stuff that's used in embalming sometimes, but more. It's a harsher smell than that. You're not quite sure what it is because you're not a chemist, but it kind of burns your nose as you catch a whiff of it. And you also notice one last thing. Sorry, you rolled really high. So, one last thing. You notice around this side over here, so off to your left from where you're standing, you see some oily sort of gunk on the ground. It looks very similar to another set of oily gunk that you found in another place.
Well, there's a vague path here on the ground. Just spotted there also seems to be some sort of substance to our left. Looks like that ooze that was on the walls earlier.
Fantastic.
Maybe we keep our eyes on that.
Probably not a bad idea. But we can't just stand here, so you say there's a path? I can kind of see it now that you pointed out. You follow it? I vote yes.
May as well.
All right.
What we've got.
You're trying to stick to the path?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and see how well you do traveling across this, because this is bordering on difficult terrain. Go ahead and make a survival check, whoever's leading the party.
It's like Varus.
22. Pretty good. Varus, you feel a little bit at home here, strangely. The sounds of the forest, the trees, the underbrush, it all feels very natural and normal to you. Aside from, and now you're starting to get, just every now and then you get a whiff of that chemical scent. You can't quite place it, but it's bad. That is what you see. But you make pretty good progress as you're heading down this pathway. Zarius would just go right behind you. You find yourselves entering into a sort of ravine almost. The cliff edges on either side of you rise up about 15 to 20 feet. And it's a little bit disconcerting from a tactical standpoint because, enemies can come from either side, but you push on anyway. Is everyone where they would like to be?
Oh no, I've been neglecting Harriet, so.
We forgot Harriet. Oh shit.
Harriet's just vibing.
She's just looking around.
Look at her eyeball.
Well, about this moment,
Something in my eye, I'm in the back. But...
Ezekiel, you feel a sort of danger sense tingle. Your spidey sense, you might say. And you hear a rustling at the top of this cliff here. Before stepping to the edge, you see one of the lizard people stand up and stare down at the group. And Kanan, make the save that I have as soon as I can pull up his sheet.
Oh no, not Kanan.
Kanan, make a charisma saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Perfect. You feel this presence sort of start to dominate your mind, and it brings back all those painful memories that you have of Corzin, and you forcefully shut it out. Look up in exactly the direction and see the troglodytes standing on the cliff above you. Everybody roll initiative.
Robot.
Yeah. I took +9 in initiative, but I am cursed to only roll like
Yeah, you
3s.
have not rolled very well at initiative, like ever. I think.
Okay. So, hearing this happen, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, feeling this presence, Kanan, you snap your head up and look, and do you say anything to alert anyone?
Everyone, the lizard people.
Okay. Varus, you are now aware of the lizard people. So,
Okay.
you're up first. What would you like to do?
Kind of just take a second to assess the situation. Do any of them look like they have immediately on them like ranged weapons or things that they could throw?
No, they all still carrying those same, the Kukiri.
Okay. Then he is going to go ahead and cast Fly on himself.
Okay.
And he'll just zoom up into the air about 15 or wherever the top of the ravine is, like another 5 or 10 feet above that if he can.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
But still staying in the same lateral spot.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it.
All right.
looking
So
around.
Varus flies up, gets a better look around, and you do see. I think you can see fairly well. Yeah. There's 4 of them total.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Harriet. What would you like to do?
That's me. First, I'm moving my initiative counter so I can properly see. So these two have different icons. Do they look?
Yeah. So the one right on the edge is the one. He doesn't carry one of those weapons. He's just got himself. But he has a certain sharpness in his eyes. He looks very different. Like he looks like there's some kind of intellect working behind his eyes. The other ones don't really have that.
Let's see here. Going to. I'm gonna pull up the quarterstaff and shoot off some scorching rays at the bright-eyed one.
All right. Sounds great. Go ahead and make your attack rolls. 12 unfortunately does not hit.
Just kept getting worse. I'm starting forest fires.
These 3 scorching rays veer off. Most of the 2 of them bouncing off of the ravine and just splattering the flame out. The other one kind of arcing upwards before just fizzling out in the air. Unfortunately, unable to hit.
There's more where that came from. Just a warning shot.
Creatures sneer down at you, unimpressed.
Whatever.
All right.
I still have the quarterstaff pointed at
Okay.
him.
All right. Cool.
That's all for me.
Next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
Kanan is going to. Oh, I've still got my. There we go. Go 5, 10. Where's that? Yeah, so she's gonna go to the bottom of this ravine thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Bloop. And do patient defense.
Okay.
Yeah, just wait for him, because, wait for him down here.
Okay. So are you doing patient defense or are you taking the dodge action?
Patient defense.
Okay, so you're spending the key point.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. So are you doing anything for your action?
No.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up is Zarius.
Darius is probably going to cast Guiding Bolt at this one right here, assuming he has it prepared.
I'm sure he does.
I didn't check his spell list. He does have it prepared, thank God. I also forgot to refresh it. He'll do it at it goes up to 5, right? He'll do it at 2nd level. 2nd level Guiding Bolt
Okay.
at the main one. Pew! Oh, and that's from Varus.
That's fine.
New fetch ability
Yeah.
dropped.
All right, so he releases this guiding bolt, and it slams into the target, just releasing this radiant, bright light. And you see them all kind of recoil, and the first guy, his skin starts to split in a few places due to the intensity of the light. the radiant light there. So nice solid damage. Is that 14 plus that? Okay, and the other ones are all kind of, they're very squinting, struggling to try to keep focus. What you do notice also is that some of these have what Zarius would notice. So some of these have injuries on them that look like they've been recently patched or bandaged. They're temporarily or partially healed. So it could be that it's the same ones that you encountered before.
Okay. Would he be able to make any sort of check as part of this current turn to determine that from here?
Just passive perception is enough.
Okay.
It's like 23 or something.
Yeah, it's 24, so yeah. He'll just say, these look like the same ones that we fought a while ago. That's all.
All right.
He's gonna stand right there.
Next up is Ezekiel. What would you like to do?
Cool. I'm gonna start by shooting this one with my short bow.
Okay. He does have some cover from the side of the cliff, but you
does
take the shot anyway.
I'm a little bit confused on what this cliff is. This like up or?
Yeah, so it's a vertical cliff. So that's why I said at the beginning. Yeah, you enter into a ravine of sorts. On both sides.
Oh, we're
about
in the
20 feet up.
ravine.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I understand. Can I still shoot at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just get the benefit of a little bit of cover.
Okay, that's probably fine. No, it's not.
I believe you get to fire again, right?
I don't have multi-attack.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because I'm
So
a
you-
rogue.
Yeah, that's right. You release the shot and it clatters off the cliff face, deflecting off and dealing no damage, unfortunately.
Okay, and then if I can, I'd like to kind of duck this way and try and hide in the underbrush.
Okay, yeah. Make the what is it, stealth check. It's a fairly sizable bush there. Yeah, so you're able to just disappear into the bush, out of sight. Next up is the hunters. So this one here is going to rush and leap off of the cliff face directly at Zarius, landing on the ground and attacking at the same time. So he's going to swing, and chomp. He has disadvantage because of the radiant damage from this last turn. So, good on you for that. So the first attack is a 15.
15 misses Arius.
Okay. 15, a 16,
16 also misses.
and then a 13.
16 also misses.
So you see this troglodyte hunter rush and jump off, landing on the ground. You can feel the weight of him landing. It's just a big, heavy guy. And he swings down, muscles flexing, but you can see his eyes have a hard time adjusting from the brightness of that radiant flash from before, and he's just swinging wildly, trying to hit anything, and he's chomping at Zarius as he does so. This one here is going to rush forward and leap down, attempting to land on the other side of Kanan, so he's going to just make an acrobatics check here. Yeah, 23, no problem. He lands on the other side of Kanan, and he is going to just swing like crazy, the same thing. Not quite affected by the radiant light as much because he's further away, but Kanan is dodging or using patient defense, so he'll also be at disadvantage. So this first one is an 11, would be a 19. The next is another 11, and the last one is a 26.
Yes.
Okay, so he swings twice with his dagger, or his kukri, whatever it is, and then misses both of them, and just you see him get frustrated and just lean forward and chomp at you with his massive mouth. As his teeth sink in, you take 10 points of piercing and 2 points of poison damage. And this last one here is going to rush forward, leaping off, looking cool, doing a flip, landing on the ground, and continuing to rush towards Harriet, where he's going to take a couple of swings, but at disadvantage because of the radiant light. So that's an 18 on the first one.
That hits.
Okay, so you take 13 points of piercing damage. A 14 on the second one.
That does not hit.
And then a 25 on the bite attack.
That hits.
So you take 10 points of piercing damage and no poison for the bite attack. Next up is the Mesmer. who is going to look around again. You see him squinting, trying to keep his focus, and he's going to attempt to not have that happen. Why did it do this? Sorry. It just closed. I minimized my character sheet, but didn't actually minimize it. Okay. So, if it could just actually work the way it's supposed to work. Sorry about that. Roll 20 issues. Alright, so he's going to attempt to mesmerize Zarius. So Zarius, make a charisma saving throw.
He's usually pretty good at those.
You see Zarius's body just kind of go slack. His hands fall to his sides, and this kind of dull look comes over his face, and you hear the chittering noise of the troglodyte mesmer. Go ahead and roll a d8.
8.
Zarius is stunned until the end of the mesmer's next turn. Alright, and that's it for him. Next up is Varus.
Hey, fuckface, give me my friend back. And he's gonna fly over to the mesmer and take a couple of swings with the sword.
Alright, sounds great. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
Switch all my stuff back to Varus. I will do... Nah, he's not really attacking. So, the first attack will be a feint. I will bonus action feint.
Okay.
So I get advantage. And a little bit of extra damage. Oh!
Yeah, 23 hits.
And then the second one is just a normal one.
15 does not hit. So the first swing, you come in real hard and you get a solid, nice set of damage on him. Get a pretty good hit. And the second one, he kind of seems like he's learning your habits and the way that you fight, and he manages to dodge out of the way for that one. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'll just fly around to this side so that I'm above like solid ground, but still kind of just hovering a little bit.
All right, sounds great.
That's it.
Next up is Harriet. What would you like to do?
Well, seeing this man who just pulled up, she's gonna be like, I don't appreciate that, and pull up her heavy crossbow and put it right at his chest and fire.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because she doesn't care about range issues.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. I believe you can fire twice, right?
Not yet.
Ah, sad. So you release the bolt, and yeah, 25 hits definitely. The bolt just, moves forward the 4 inches into his chest and just sinks in there deep, and you see him look down almost offended, and then growl and snarl at you.
She'll then use her actor feat to growl twice
Nice.
as loud back at him and
Okay,
say, "Come
cool.
on now, get back!" And,
Okay.
gotta just push him with the crossbow.
Dear Harriet.
And that's pretty much all she's got.
Okay. Sounds great. Next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
Kanan is gonna take out her dagger and try to slice this guy across his chest.
Okay. Yeah, 27 does hit. 14 does not.
And then she's gonna flurry of blows.
Okay. So the first swing with your fist, you swing wide and miss. Second one, you get a solid strike on him and deal some good damage. Nicely done.
Okay. On that second one, I'm gonna spend a key point and stunning strike him.
Okay, sounds good. Constitution saving throw. What's your DC?
16.
16. He rolled a 13. So he is stunned. Okay.
think that's it.
All right. Next up is Zarius, who is stunned.
Yeah, speaking of people who are stunned.
Next up is Ezekiel.
I'm going to peek out of the bush and attempt to shoot this guy. Can I get a clear shot on this guy?
Yeah, I would say with your experience enough, you can do that. Yeah, it's a big. I mean, he towers over Zarius too. He's 2 feet taller.
Okay.
So
Yeah, then I'm gonna do that. And I have advantage because I'm hidden.
that's right. 23 hits. Yeah,
Oh, and it's a sneak attack. I should have. I keep forgetting that.
that's all right.
So, a d6.
Nice. Yeah, add an extra 15 damage on that. That's great. And
Yeah.
you fire off a
4.
shot, and you get a solid hit right in the upper like chest part. You can see it's kind of dug into his shoulder a little bit, and he looks in pain from that shot.
Cool. I'm no longer hidden, but I'm going to run over here and attempt to hide in this set of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a full tree, so it goes all the way to the ground. You can hide in the bushes or in the branches. Go ahead and make your check. 26.
Oh, not at advantage.
19's
not at
fine,
advantage.
too.
Yeah.
All right, sounds great. Next up is the hunters. You see the hunters kind of, they appear to be like, what you've noticed as you're fighting them is they appear to be like checking in with each other through their chitters, the kind of crackling noise that they make, always keeping in contact. And you see that with one of them being stunned, it seems that their attacks are not quite as in sync and not quite as coordinated. But nevertheless, this one is going to just lay into Harriet. Rolling a 9 on the first attack. Solid 9. I know Haley's not here right now. So first is a 9. Next one's a 14, which I also don't believe hits. And the next one is a nat 20. So yeah, Harriet takes 16 points of piercing damage. So
Right as
right as you come back, yeah.
I was like, how much did I miss? Was it 16 or was there more before that?
16. No, it rolled a 9 on the first attack and a 14 on the second one. So
Okay, and do I need to input that still?
yes,
On mine?
yeah.
Okay. Got it.
The next one is stunned, and the next one is going to take a couple of swings at advantage on Zarius because he's stunned.
Not my boy.
Unfortunately, he's also not going to roll very well. It's a 17,
That
which
hits.
just hits. Okay, so Zarius takes 12 points of slashing damage as he swings down with the kukri. I don't know why I named it that, but the next one is an 18, so he takes 9 points of piercing. And the last one is his bite attack, but he only rolled an 11. So, no hit on that one. Next up is, and the other guy's just stunned. The next up is the Mesmer, who is, he can only have it on one at a time, so he's just going to claw at you, Varus, and then bite. So the first one is a 21.
That definitely hits.
You take 11 points of slashing
Ouch.
and 3 points of poison.
Oh.
The second claw comes around. It's only a 15.
I
And
missed. I'm still flying.
okay. The third one, he chomps forward at you with his teeth, and you can see just that same kind of venom almost just dripping from his slimy, gross mouth. And that's a 25.
Yeah.
So you take 8 points of piercing and 3 points of poison damage.
Ouchie.
Yeah. And that's it for him. Next up is Varus.
Hey, that wasn't very nice. And he's just gonna.
One thing I
how
forgot, I'm
tall-
sorry. He's going to move around this way.
Oh, okay. How tall about is the ravine? Like, how far down is?
It's like between 15 and 20 feet, depending on where you are.
Okay. So should I do that? Probably not. Nah. I'm just gonna swing 2 more times.
Okay, sounds good.
Do what I do best. Yeah.
Okay. First strike, you come through clearly and get a solid hit. Takes 16 points of damage. Nice. The second one, you try, and again, he just manages to avoid it.
Yeah. I will bonus action second wind.
Okay.
Get some of those hit points back. Hello.
Sounds good. All right.
And that's all for he.
Okay. Around this time, at initiative count 20, you might say. Sorry, I gotta get my things up here.
Excuse me, what?
Varus, you hear a bit of rustling in the trees behind this guy, and you see the pathway where you are slopes downward, off in this direction. But you see a rustling in this bush here, and then out steps a very pale, taller, human-ish guy, but he's wearing like bone armor with very he's got his face painted. It looks very much like tribal kind of feral-looking humanoid creature. But he steps out, and you see him pull his hands together, and between them you can see this glowing ball of greenish light. It's very sickly-looking green light. And as he stands there, you watch as he kind of channels this ball in place and then pushes it forward out, and this streak of green light that just drips and fizzles and sizzles on the ground below, dripping as it does so, lances out from him and strikes clearly in the back of this troglodyte here, who does not save on his thing, and so takes 30 points of acid damage. And you see just this acid splash up on the sides of him. Fortunately, you are covered from being sprayed with acid from this, but the troglodyte is not so lucky. You see the acid kind of burn, and he lets out this awful cry, and then, oh, sorry, I forgot it sounds like that. And then he lets out this cry of pain, and then chitters, and the other two, or the other troglodytes, also look like they're getting ready to make their escape. They sort of get this panicked look, and the human-ish creature just sort of is breathing heavily, and you can see he's got a real intensity-focused look on his face. And that is it for initiative count 20. Harriet, you're up next.
Well, Harriet's gonna keep doing what she was doing, and
Okay.
she's just gonna put her fingers together and be like, "Well, come on now, get back!" and cast Burning Hands at it.
Nice, okay. Dexterity save. Oh, that's a 10.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, yeah. Solid 8 points of fire damage on this troglodyte hunter. And you see him kind of recoil from both the brightness and the heat. And again, they're constantly chittering back and forth with each other, and he looks like he's trying to get ready to make his escape. Anything else you'd like to do, Harriet?
She's just keeping, even though it's not casting anymore, she's just keeping her hands up,
Yeah.
Velociraptor Chris Pratt moment. Yeah, just kind of threatening to do it again, basically.
Okay.
That's
All right.
all for her.
Next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
Kanan's gonna wail on this guy.
All right.
Or daggett.
And you've got advantage, so. Yeah, I would say a 26 hits for sure. Wow.
And then spend a key point to flurry of blows.
I would imagine so. All right, the last strike unfortunately doesn't hit. You punch into him, but his hide is just too thick to really deal any kind of damage on that last strike. but you see him bleeding from a bunch of different gashes and slashes. You see big bruises already starting to show up in the places that you hit. You've definitely done some serious damage. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Nope.
Okay, and the stun wears off. Next up is Zarius, who is also no longer stunned.
Yeah. Is it pretty easy to tell that they're looking like they're getting ready to leave?
Yeah, it looks like they got, however they're communicating, they're all looking at each other and then they're looking for exit routes. It's pretty easy to see that.
Okay. What kind of... Oh, yeah, sure, we'll do that. Zarius is kind of thinking right now is just to get rid of any that they can, so he's going to walk away from this guy. He'll take the opportunity attack if he...
Nope, doesn't swing.
To. Okay. And then the one that Kanan was just beating the shit out of, he's going to cast Inflict Wounds at 4th level, and he's going to add 10 to it if he doesn't like it.
Whoa, okay. Is that a...
Yeah, he'll add 10 to that.
Okay. Yeah, wow, alright. So that's...
41.
41. Yeah. Zarius reaches out and plants his hand firmly, almost missing at first, but lands firmly on the base of the creature's like neck and spine, his muscular shoulders. And you see the, Kanan sees the black energy just sort of flare out and reach over his shoulders, and just decay begins to set in. It creeps down the body, and you see it just erode out the creature's spine. And falls backwards, the head kind of lolling limply backwards. The creature collapses on the ground. Can
I get a soul trinket from that?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, as rules is written, yes.
Okay. Yeah, then that's
DM
fine.
rulings, yeah. Okay, cool. I will use my reaction to grab a soul trinket from that thing.
Okay. Yeah, just make sure you got it marked down, and
Yep.
we'll be good. Okay. That's it for Zarius. Okay, next up is Ezekiel. Capture that soul trinket. What would you like to do for your turn?
I'm going to shoot at this one next to Harriet. With some more short bow stuff.
Okay.
And I will remember to click all the buttons this time.
Nice. Yeah. 21 hits. Yep. So that's 23 points of damage. Wow, solid damage. You fire, and he's totally unexpecting it. It just sinks directly into his shoulder, and he kind of looks over, again, almost offended that what happened. He's just going cowabunga with the rest. All right. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Is he like watching me now then, or?
He's looking around, but again, it looks like they're looking for escape routes.
Okay. If he's distracted enough, I will attempt to find a new hiding spot.
Sure. Yeah, it's easy enough.
Nope, not an advantage again. 14 this time.
14. Okay. You do a decent job this time, but it's not quite as good as you could do if you had a little more time. All right. Next up is the hunters. Seeing their companion fall and hearing the awful, cries of their leader, this one here is just booking it. He just takes off, starts running, use the dash action, down and hopefully out of sight. This one here is going to run. So Harriet, you have an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Sure. I'll just fire with the crossbow.
Okay. Yeah, you release the crossbow bolt again, firing a solid shot directly into the chest of this thing once more.
And
he
stay away!
breaks off the crossbow bolts and then takes off running this way. And that's it for them. The Mesmer is going to look around, very concerned at what's happening, and give one last effort to try to mesmerize you, Vara, so make a charisma saving throw. Roll a d8.
D8.
6. You are paralyzed. You feel your muscles lock up. You're unable to move any parts of your body. You're just stuck floating there, rigid. And seeing this, he kind of smirks and then darts off out this way, disappearing into the forest. And we are out of combat.
All right, dang. Zarius, that was cool.
That
Boss,
was
all right
really
over there?
violent. But yes.
Are they gone now?
So,
Hey, Varus, how are you doing?
boss, all right over there.
It doesn't look like it.
Varus, you see, but cannot react to, one of these humanoid creatures approaching you. And from here, you can clearly see that he looks human. It looks like he's been down here a very, very long time, likely his whole life. But he doesn't look like deformed, but he looks very like malnourished and is wearing the bones of a lot of other things. Very much like tribal, and has kind of a savage, feral look about him. Long matted hair, greasy skin, that kind of thing. But he approaches very cautiously, kind of timidly almost, looking through and going from bush to bush, before finally approaching you and just reaching his hand out to touch you. About this time is when the paralysis wears off. He reaches up to touch. He just tries to like touch the side of your hip, because that's what's, at hand level for him. And then he touches and backs up real quick.
Okay. Varus will like float backwards as if he was like in zero gravity and was just touched by someone.
Okay.
Just kind of
Drift back.
yeah.
Kind of cocks his head and looks again and
Varus,
Just kidding. I'm fine.
as soon as you say something, he darts backwards into the bush.
It's okay.
who are you talking to?
It'll make the sword disappear. No weapons, just friendly. Hi.
Comes out again, kind of timidly, and you can see he's got on his like forearm a large it's like a punch dagger kind of, but it's two-pronged. So he's got this, and he's holding it ready, and you can see his eyes darting about. Very much seems very reactive and animalistic.
Hello. My name is Varus of the Mean. Do you speak at all?
Wait, Baswana.
Me too. Everyone, we have a new friend, or at least another person. I can't understand it.
Aiden's gonna climb up this cliff.
Okay. Climb up, no problem, and you see him. As soon as he sees you pop up, he brings the punch dagger blade thing up, ready to go, and you see around his fingertips sort of green light start to glow, just very faintly.
Varus, you said friend?
Maybe. He hasn't attacked me yet.
Alright, well, I'll put my dagger away, and Kanan will show her dagger and put it in her waistband.
Okay. You see the greenish energy fade from his fingertips, and he puts that hand down, but he still has the dagger hand up. Like, it's not like pointed at you like he's gonna charge you or anything, it's just like it's protecting his chest kind of thing. And he says, "What you wanna?"
I'm Kanan.
Fair shofar.
So far.
And he kind of like looks at you and shakes his head. He looks down like he's trying to look over the cliff edge to see how many more. And he holds up his hand and goes like,
There's me, Forrest, Harriet, 5.
That's 4.
Points to himself and says, and holds his hand up as 4.
Wait, but myself, Ezekiel, Forrest, Harriet, Zarius.
There's 4 of him.
Of him?
Or people like him.
Oh.
How do we get up this thing?
You don't! Just kidding. I have a rope. I'll drop it down.
Ezekiel and I are just chilling at the bottom of this like ravine.
I'm down here too.
And Zarius.
Varisol, if he can, kind of. Is this like a log that's just hanging off?
Yeah.
He'll tie the rope to that and drop it down.
Okay. Yeah, with the rope and time, you all can get up, no problem.
Ezekiel, you might want to go first. Zarius and I both aren't blessed in the ways of... I just don't want to fall on you, is what I'm saying.
Very well.
Okay.
One up.
Just move everyone up.
One up.
That process doesn't take more than 10 minutes, does it?
No. It takes
Okay.
like 30 seconds to a minute. It's not hard to climb a rope. You all are healthy, athletic adventurers.
Level 10.
On seeing you all, he kind of like takes a step back, and with each successive one of you that comes up, you see that green energy kind of flare for a second, and then calms down, and it goes away. Except when Harriet comes up.
Oh, no.
Oh, buddy.
When he sees Harriet's head come up over the rope, the energy flares in his hand, and it's this bright green, the exact same green that you saw Varus before. And he says, "Dragoon."
Yes?
Nod.
No. Kaden will just stick her hands out and get between Harriet and this.
She'll just give a little wave.
Dragoon Nostra.
Hello.
Do any of you speak Undercommon?
No.
Okay.
What? Did Zarius?
I'm checking.
Does he have spells?
He might, but continue while I read.
Okay, I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
Comprehend languages? No.
Yeah. He has tongues, but not prepared.
Ow.
Well, we could say that you prepared it, but no, because you didn't do
No.
that.
Okay.
Is it ritual? No.
He says, "Dragon." And then
Hello.
he tries to speak. You all spend a few minutes if you'd like to. You don't have to, but he spends a few minutes trying. You spend a few minutes trying to talk to each other, and it's like listening to Spanish radio. Every now and then you catch a word that you recognize that are shared between the two languages, but it's pretty hard to make out what he's talking about. Through your communicating, just because I'm not going to keep making up nonsense. Through your rough communicating, you learn that he has a pretty intense fear of dragons. That's one of them, and that there are 4 others, and that he's trying to like lead you down this pathway here. It doesn't seem. Well, you can make an insight check if you'd like to get his intention, but somebody can. It doesn't.
Zarius will, because that's what you do.
Did we pick up any sort of name?
Zarius won't, because
No.
that's what he don't.
Okay.
No, you don't really get an individual name from this guy.
Okay. Just the 4 is. But we haven't seen any other of his
You haven't seen any other ones
yet. Okay.
But he kind of like beckons that you come with him. Then he backs up slowly. That his eyes pretty much locked on Harriet.
Yeah, Harriet will not go first.
Okay. And he leads you down this pathway and over into this little inlet here. Where, not really hidden, but just sitting in position, you see 3 other of these same human-like people.
before Varus leaves this kind of ravine area, he just wants to hopefully quickly fly up as high as he can.
Okay.
So
You're just trying to get a lay of the land?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough to do. You fly up. Go ahead and make a perception check just so we can see how detailed information.
Mostly just trying to see like if there is a cave ceiling and where that is, or that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, 17. Yeah, you fly up. You get a good distance up and back, and you get a good lay of like how big the space is. The ceiling's high. It's probably like 500 feet high.
Oh wow.
The light is not at the top. You can see above the light in certain spots, and it just seems to be floating there. Not quite sure what's holding it, what's supporting it, what it even is. But yeah, it looks like as you get up and kind of look, it looks smooth on the top, as if it was carved. Like very purposefully made that way.
Oh. And then I'll drop back down and
Okay.
join everyone else.
All right, so you enter into this kind of inlet here, and the guy sees Varus come back down, and he looks at Harriet and says, "Dragon," and he looks up.
Oh.
Oh.
There's a dragon?
Right, that's what we've heard, right? We've been hearing. I've been practicing.
And then you can see one of them kind of looking like to your back, Harriet, to try to see if you have wings. It seems like, very much just like, yeah. But they seem very like cautiously curious, all four of them.
Harry will let them get close to her. If they are getting up in her business, she won't swat them away or anything.
Okay. And you see, they look like feral humans, is how they look. They look like very pale, like they probably have lived in this area their entire life. They're pretty poorly malnourished, or pretty malnourished. They all have different armaments and armor and all kinds of things that it looks like they've made. Yeah, very, very savage-looking creatures. One of them points at whoever's seems to be. So who's doing most of the like engaging and communicating? Or are you guys all distributing it fairly evenly? I don't know if there's one person who wants to like take point.
Harriet's just trying not to be intimidating, so it's like if they engage her, she'll talk, but if
Okay.
not, she's not going to be the one leading it,
Varus could do that.
Okay. So make just a general charisma check. And I'll say with advantage because you all are there working. Yeah, okay, 12. So good enough. Good enough to get the basics across. You get the sense from this sort of pantomiming communication that you have with them that, like I said, they live here. This is where they live. But they seem very curious with you and where you're from. One of them, Varus, kind of reaches up and takes you almost by the hand, just sort of like touches you. He's not grabbing on you, but he kind of takes you, and he leads you over to the cave inlet wall here. It's just like it's the same kind of cliff face that you saw before, but he kind of takes you over, and he rubs his hand across the stone there and brushes away some underbrush and debris that have kind of fallen over it. And you see a very crude carving in the stone face, like someone using just incredibly basic tools or using them without understanding has made. You see the the very first thing that he points at, and he taps up and points to himself. He just points up there and points to himself. It depicts like a roughly human-esque outline. It's like a stick figure almost, walking on a flat surface with what appears to be large mountains nearby and a bright sun with the rays shining up overhead. What is very obviously a tunnel is carved into the base of the mountain and descends and like zigzags and coils downward until it opens up into this big, roughly like almost egg-shaped chamber, but it's flat on the bottom. It's like like that, filled with trees. And he points to the next one and taps on it. And you see, in this next scene, the humanish figures are fighting with several different types of monsters. None of them that really you readily recognize, except for, like, the lizard-like things. And the next scene, you see a few dozen smaller human figures standing holding hands together over a pile of the larger human figures. All of the larger ones with X's for their eyes. He points to one of the small ones, the one like second from the far left, and points to himself. And he just keeps doing that.
That's you. Congrats. Nice.
The next scene shows the smaller figures trying to climb up, like they're trying to go up the tunnel, but they can't really find their way out. It looks like they try, and you see some falling, and like they're unable to find their way out, and they return back to the forest. As he points over, kind of moves his way across the mural space, you see the second to last scene depicted shows what looks like a herd of these small little, like, just circles. Looks like a little herd of orbs with arms and legs. And I mean, very small. They run on all fours, and they're chasing the humanish figures. One of them appears to have been caught, and you see one of the orbs crouched. And the figure stands with his hands on his head, and these lines of energy are carved from the orb to the figure, and from the figure's head upward. The figure's eyes in this scene are huge and perfectly white and perfectly circular. The final scene shows the figure that had been attacked by the orb with the big round white eyes attacking and killing other humanoid figures. And this scene looks partially unfinished.
Scary. Everyone, look out for small orbs that run on all fours. They corrupt your mind, make you kill other people, something like that.
I will look out for small corrupting orbs.
Thank you for sharing. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but thank you, and I'll like kind of bow, I guess.
He looks at you and kind of squints, and then just mimics the behavior. And then he pulls from his back. You see, it's just like a really basic pickaxe that looks 200 years old, 100 years old. All the wood has been replaced several times, and you can see the stone is all chipped and pitted. Or not the stone, the metal is all chipped and pitted. And he shows it to you, and then points again to the scene depicting the miners.
Oh, they dug down here, and okay.
He points again at you, and it's like, saying like, "Where are you from? Like, what what are you?"
Kanan, you haven't finished your book about us yet, have you?
No. No.
These things even read.
Well, she can
Well,
show the
Or
pictures,
is it a
but
picture?
Yeah,
Is
not
it a
that kind of
picture
book.
I
it's
see.
like a movie,
It is
like the
yeah.
film, that we watched in Cypher, where it's moving pictures.
What is a
Ezekiel
film?
wasn't there.
What's a film?
I don't know how to explain it. It's some sort of sorcery.
I can try to give a rough show.
No,
Very
illusion.
it's all right. Where do we come from?
Where do we go?
I know what we'll do. Voris is going to take out his kind of sketchbook in his painter supplies, and kind of in the same like style of how they carved into the walls, draw on the paper like a group of several figures. We'll just keep it at 5. In different places, fighting different like large, clearly evil-looking creatures. Yeah, basically just showing like our travel and us fighting large evil creatures.
Okay. Yeah, as you sit, he just is entranced watching you draw. He's just really hooked. In the meantime, the rest are kind of like looking at you. You know, they're kind of getting close to like Kanan and Harriet especially. But they're looking, and they're like, you can see him kind of touching Zarius's horns, and just very gently, very timid, but like just kind of looking very closely at you. Yeah, so he's kind of feeling you all out. But he watches and he nods and he points at the characters that you've drawn to represent yourself, and he points at you, questioning.
Yeah, and so I'll have like one that has like longer hair and maybe a sword, and then point at that and point at myself. I'll draw
Okay.
one that kind of resembles Ezekiel and Harriet and Kanan and Zarius. Yeah,
Okay.
the like basic features.
Okay. He points at you and the drawing, and then he points to like the one on the cave wall with that's on the surface. Shows on the surface, and he kind of is asking like, "Are you from there?"
I'll nod and see if that elicits a response.
He nods back, like
Okay.
understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, Swata. And he kind of holds his hands out asking for your sketchbook.
Oh yeah, I'll let him have it. I'll give him the little pen I use.
Okay. He holds it like he's going to stab somebody with it, and then you see him very poorly draw, like it looks like just a humanoid figure, and he points at it and points at himself. And then he draws one that's, it would be like, it's like a third of the size, or maybe half the size, somewhere in there. That is, he purposely makes it just ugly. Like he gives it an ugly face. Yeah, you can count this as a short rest. He draws this really ugly thing, and he points at it, and then he like feels your cloak. He feels the pen. He points at your like your nicer looking stuff, and then he like gestures at grabbing it, and he points back at the small creatures.
Oh, I'll like nod in understanding to him and kind of just say to everybody else, "There's an ugly thing around here. Kind of looks like this. That wants to take all our stuff. So keep an eye on your pockets and bags and things."
That doesn't look like anything.
There are a lot of ugly things out there that are about
I'm
that.
doing my best here.
Harriet will be like, "Oh my god, do I have my stuff?" Like,
Okay. Like I said, you can count this as a short rest if you'd like to. So feel free to,
okay.
Because y'all have been sitting, going over this. It takes a while to communicate these kinds of things.
I would like something.
Do short rest things.
Yeah, go ahead and do short rest things. Yeah, we'll wait till everyone's rolled up, and I'll be right back.
What is happening, guys?
999.
999.
There's the roll. All of us hit dice. He is dying.
One more for grins. Oh my word. What? What?
Oh!
What is happening with my hit dice? I'm not complaining at that, but
First, get their channel divinity on a short rest. Anyone familiar?
oh,
No, but I'm very fast at looking things up.
gotta think about my noise
I think
stuff.
they do.
Might be right.
Anyone
I get
play
my,
Paladin?
I get second wind back, right, on short
Yeah.
rest. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just used it before the rest, and now I've got it again.
Finish short or long rest for channel divinity.
I was gonna say, anyone happen to play a paladin that has a channel divinity that they use every now and again?
You know about that.
Fun fact, it is the same ability. So.
short or long then, if it's the same as paladin stuff.
Yeah, it's the exact same between clerics and paladins. So, the more you know.
Yeah, I'm so bad at remembering what's short and long rest, even for any of these things. I'm like stuck in my warlock brain. Since then, I don't remember.
When was the last time you played a warlock?
Like a long time ago, probably a year and a half.
I totally respect the grind of playing each class, but you should play warlock again at some point.
Yeah, I'm on my grind of playing each class, and I've played I've played 2 warlocks at this point, so I love them, but I'm on my grind of playing each class, which I'm getting there. I've almost done it.
Just DM, you can play every class every day.
This is true.
Yeah, Haley, run a
Make up
campaign.
your own. Make up your own
Wow,
classes.
guys. Well, someday.
Is that a hint for what's to come, Matt?
I already did it with Fang. I guess it was a subclass technically, but
This is true.
I make up all kinds of stuff.
That is what you do.
Yeah. All right. So, through the course of things, you're communicating these very basic, primitive things, but you do find a common sort of way to communicate through a lot of pantomime and like drawing on the ground and rough speaking. After about an hour, 45 minutes of sitting here trying to work this out, you hear a heavy rustle and like a scratching noise. And the humans kind of look around very like panicked. And Ezekiel, you get the sense like your danger sense is on point right here. You don't see anything, you don't know why, but just almost instinctually, based on their reaction, your senses are piqued.
Something's coming.
And then he turns to the other ones and says, "So, da-da-da." And the other 3 rush off. Oh no, don't want to drag a box. That way. And he begins to lead you, and he kind of gestures that you follow. Leads you back out to the path that you were on before.
Summon.
I'm moving you, Varus. I'm moving you too, Kanan. I moved everybody almost.
I actually moved for once.
Wow. And he gets you on this path down. You see the place where you fought before, and as he passes by that troglodyte hunter on the ground, he looks at it and then raises his hands. Excuse me, like, which one of this was you? Like, which one of you did this?
Zarius will raise his hand.
And he just kind of nods his approval. And then continues forward down this pathway. And then points you in the direction over this way. Over to the bottom right.
Make sure to move your tokens, everyone.
I am.
And then he takes the path to the bottom left.
I'm getting there.
Well, looks like we're back on our own again. Everyone feeling okay? Ready to go?
Ready to fight something big and scary, perhaps.
Hold on. Doesn't the...
Oh god, what did I do?
Oh no, you rotated.
Thank you.
And-
I thought it would just. I was hoping it would just like. But nope.
Varus is like flying over there and
Can
All right.
I investigate what seems to be this split in the path as everyone leaves?
Yeah, that's where he pointed you in the direction to your
To this
left.
way?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he went off to the right. Before you move any
Okay.
further,
Uh-oh.
you hear that same like scratching noise again. I just have to update the map down here. The map.
Mid.
The map. And you hear in the bushes, right around this space here, rumbling. like a light rumbling, like a small creature, rustling the bushes, and out pops a small. It looks like almost like a brain with legs. You see one of them
I
pop
like
out
that.
at first, and then behind you hear a number of other ones push
Oh
forward.
no, no.
You don't hear anything immediately, but you feel it in your minds.
I don't like this.
And yeah, let's see. Where's my drawing thing? How far away? Oh yeah. All of you hear fresh food. Everyone roll initiative.
Oh dear.
Oh wait, hold
Oh,
on, let me
no,
clear
not
the
you.
old initiative and then re-roll it.
Not you mentioning DMing and then using the one monster that I used when I DM'd. Lord.
Oh.
There it is.
Yeah, Ezekiel.
Rogue.
Oh no. No brain cells. Sorry, nothing to see here. The Soundtail like voices are really realistic, and then I think there's one of you guys is saying something, or like someone outside my dorm is like making sound, but it's just the Soundtail grunting.
Oh, I forgot to put their number in. Dang. Okay. So, Ezekiel, you are first. What would you like to do? Being unsurprised, you see these brains on legs scurry out from the underbrush.
What are those things? Oh, there's a lot more than when I moved forward.
Good hobby.
I moved 20 feet here to get kind of where I can see one. I'll shoot at the one in front.
Okay.
That's just a normal roll, and it's not even a sneak attack.
You fire off the arrow, and unfortunately, it does not hit. The arrow scatters across the ground, echoing out, or yeah, flashing out there. All right.
And guess what I'm gonna try and do as a bonus action?
Okay, go ahead and yeah, you can try to hide.
Strangely, like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, you can't move through the barriers.
Yeah, there's like certain terrain that I can't move through, and it's being weird. Can I hide here, or do you want me to?
There you go. Can you still see?
Yeah, it's. No, I can't see any of the enemies at that point. That's why I wasn't being there.
You are hidden in a bush, so it would be kind of difficult to see, but
Then, yeah, I would rather be able to see the enemy than be hidden.
okay.
And I also cannot move out of that space now.
There you go.
Thank you. So if I'm too out in the open, then I will just do some other rogue thing. No, I can't.
You can move into one of these bushes and get a better view. It just is going to be, we'll just have to imagine, use our imaginations in D&D.
I don't know if I can do that.
I'll just stand here for now. It's all good.
All right. Next up is the Intellect Devourers. This one is going to rush forward, and Varus,
Brain cells.
Sad, dude.
it gets close, and you feel this, like, it's like a, you ever get like a really bad migraine, and you feel that like pulsing kind of brightness? You feel that. Go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, he's so good at those.
I forgot dice that I have to roll by hand for this one. So 1 second.
How much does my intelligence go down by? Everyone, write
Hey.
down your intelligence. So you
Just-
don't forget it.
Just remember that you'll still be higher than Murph.
What
For now.
is,
Not for long.
what is your intelligence score, Varus?
10. Nope,
10?
11.
11, okay.
11. That Varus is smarter than the average bear.
Okay, you take 11 points of psychic damage. And you just feel some brain fog.
Okay.
Feels like a really intense headache, but you're not dumber.
Okay. Yet.
And then it's going to step forward and try to claw you. So it's a 19 to hit.
That misses.
Okay.
20.
And that's it. So this next one is going to rush up here. And you know it's the same deal to Zarius. Go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw.
You gotta make me switch all this shit to Zarius. Oh no. Wait. Nice.
What is Zarius' intelligence score?
12.
Zarius
We are all about to lose
loses
ourselves.
3 points of intelligence.
Oh no, right. Zarius is.
So yeah, just write it in.
And then 9.
He takes 12 points of psychic damage.
Oh, fun.
And Zarius is stunned.
George watching
Oh,
the
yeah.
VOD,
Yeah.
This is always how it goes when somebody's gone.
Wisdom 20, intelligence nothing.
And then this one's going to rush up and make an attack on you, Varus. 2 attacks with its claws. So it's a 21 to hit for the first one,
That hits.
6 points of slashing damage, and an 18 for the second, which I don't think hits.
That misses.
This one's going to rush up here. And you see them all kind of working together. It looks like it's like they're all kind of moving in perfect unison. It's like a perfect synchronized thing. When one of them uses that sort of mind blast thing, the rest of them all go rigid, and it looks like they're sort of coordinating and helping each other. Like it takes more of their concentration than just one of them. Okay. Next up is Zarius, who's stunned. And then is Varus.
That's me. Well, technically, I have both of those for today. But Varus doesn't have any area of effect attacks, which sucks because Zarius does. Could do that. They're kind of all right here. You know what? Sure. Yeah. This box, Varus is going to cast Fairy Fire. Flash of pink. All of them need to make dex saves.
Okay.
Where the heck go? DC is 18.
18, okay. So 2 of them saved.
Okay. So the ones that don't are marked in violet light for while I'm concentrating. Any attacks against them have advantage.
All right.
And Varus is gonna stay right there. Doesn't want to lose concentration on that.
Okay.
So that's it for him.
All right. Next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna unmute myself first. Kanan is going to run over into the thick of it and just go ham, start hitting things.
Okay. Which one are you attacking first?
First attack the one by Varus.
Okay. So you do have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 24 hits for sure. So it's 8 points, and then a 26. Yep, that's 7 points. Okay. You just start clubbing this brain with your quarterstaff. And with each hit, it's this sort of wet slap sound, and you can see blood start to come out, and it's very gross, but you're basically just smashing up a brain on legs.
Yeah, I'm gonna spin a key point and flurry of blows
Okay.
till it dies, hopefully.
All right. Yeah, the first hit's enough to kill it.
Okay, and then I'll just direct this other attack to the one above it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you punch through with the first hit, and your fist just goes straight into the brain, and it collapses. Sloughing off of your hand, just sort of.
Do I get advantage on the other one with the fairy fire?
Yes,
or is
you
that
do.
only one? Okay.
Yeah, 7 hit points, or 24 hits for sure.
And then I'm gonna back off.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Harriet. What would you like to do?
That's me. I'm gonna. Let's see here. Picture, please. I kind of move. Oh, now that she's gone. Let's see. How do cones work? There we go. This is geometry. Okay. Pull up right by Varus, I guess.
Okay.
And well, I guess standing on this rock.
Okay.
trying to figure out shapes. And I guess try and hit these 4 with a cone.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you get all 5 of them if you wanted to.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and use lean back and try and use the breath weapon in a cone on that
Okay.
amount of them.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever do this. Do I even have that damage put in?
I think it's 3d6.
So, but I think it's 3d6. Next level. What level are we? 10th level? Yeah, 3d6. Well,
Okay, and I think they have to make a dex save, right?
I believe.
Oh, con save.
Con
Okay.
save for
Okay.
me because I'm green.
I'm green, dabba die.
It
Cool.
ain't easy being green.
And what's your save DC?
It's just a charisma save. Sorry, I never do this. I think it's just a 16.
Okay. So you release this poisonous fire, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
out across these brains with legs, and one of them succeeds. So 9 points of damage. Six that one, okay. To the rest of them. And you see them all kind of shudder and shake, even the ones that didn't take any damage. As a result, it seems that they're, what one of them feels, the rest of them feel, kind of thing.
Okay.
It may not take any damage, but they feel it. All right, anything else for Harriet?
Should I say, and as she's speaking poison, still residual spits out of her mouth a little bit, and she's just like, now get back, you brains. He doesn't even know. It's really intimidating, and then falters because it's just a bunch of brains with
Yeah.
legs, and kind of looks over at Varus and goes, "Are these the orbs with legs?"
I would imagine so.
All right, and that's all for me.
Okay, Ezekiel, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Cool. So guess who just found out that Rogue's got a new ability in Tasha's that I forgot about?
Ooh,
Not gonna use it this turn, but I forgot about that.
I don't know what it is.
They get
Ezekiel's
steady
mind
aim. It's like an
opens.
aiming ability,
Okay.
which is very nice. I thought they had something like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna shoot one of the brains that is glowing.
Okay, you got it.
Probably that one.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about aiming much now because glow.
I know, that's why I was like, but it's cool for future context.
Yeah.
Advantage, sneak attack. Oh, ah!
That's a hit, yeah. And that's,
Oh.
yeah. The arrow goes straight into this brain, and it lifts it up off the ground. You see it kind of plop wetly on the ground behind it. You release the shot, and it just goes on the ground behind, laying down dead.
Cool. And then I'm gonna use Whales of the Grave on this guy.
Okay. Oh, add an extra. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Oh, ignore the 8. Sorry, that
Okay.
was the 8's not supposed to be there. It's 10 necrotic.
Okay. Yeah, you hear this wailing sound, and it just sort of racks this other brain. You see it kind of shudder and then collapse on the ground. Anything else for Ezekiel?
I'm good.
Okay. Next up is the Intellect Devourers. You see them turn their ire and focus towards Harriet. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Unmute, and then do that.
15. You succeed. This one kind of... you hear a snarl in your mind, but the thing doesn't have a mouth, so it doesn't make any noise. And then this other one here approaches to close enough to Varus. Varus, go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
What was your intelligence score?
11.
Your intelligence score is reduced by 3.
And I take damage too.
Yeah, 15 points of psychic damage. Sorry, rolled really well.
Ouch.
Yeah, and you hear in your mind, oh, this will be a nice body.
Just kidding. I'm only at 8 right now. We're not there yet.
All right. And I believe Varus is stunned, right? Yeah, you're
Oh, boy.
stunned.
Oh, I also have to. Okay, they're all still glowing.
So Zarius is up next, no longer stunned.
Okay, sweet. It's time for Zarius to do his
Oh, wait,
thing.
let me check and be sure.
Oh, fuck.
So maybe till the end of their next turn.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Zarius will just be like, guys, I've got this new thing that I want to try. I've never done it before, so I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. And he's going to move into the middle of them and cast Spirit Guardians. I lied. Just at 3rd level.
Okay.
Wink. Oh, that was as far as I forgot to change it to Zarius.
Well, it's wisdom saves, right?
Yes.
I got 2 nat 20s and a 19. So they apparently rolled really well.
Very wise.
Yeah, and one got a 17. So one of them failed. It takes the full 14.
Oh.
Yeah, just
Fuck.
unfortunately for George. The rest of them take 7.
That's what happens when you're not here, George.
Okay.
And that'll be all, how is his War Priest bonus action attack ruled?
Oh,
He
you can
can't
just
do
make
it
an.
when he casts-
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we've ruled that he can make it as long
Oh,
as he
he
makes
can?
an attack. Oh, this spell isn't an attack though, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So
Um,
not gonna worry about that, but that is it for his turn.
okay. 15-foot radius. Okay. At initiative count 20, you all hear this sort of whooping, chirping noise, sort of whoop whoop, and you hear an almost thunderous stampede sound as the bushes rumble further down this path here, and you see a whole herd of small, well, relatively large, like big dog-sized, feathered dinosaurs come careening about the space And without hesitating, they rush in and just start chomping on all the dinosaurs, or on all the brains there. Unfortunately, most of them are going to die from Zarius' spirit guardians. But they're going for it, and they're just like trying to ravage these things, because to them, it's just, hey, free meat. And I forgot to pull up Velociraptor, so give me a second here. So they all got to make wisdom saves. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the damage is 14, okay. Dinosaurs did not roll so well. But the remaining ones are okay. So that's, what, 4 of them? Okay, they did roll really well in their attack rolls, which is nice. So
Good
this
for them.
brain is dead. This brain is dead. This brain is dead. That brain's dead. And that brain's dead. And you see, after they like sort of tear into all these things, they in this sort of like frenzy almost. Once they've stopped, they kind of look up at you, and you see their eyes darting back and forth, and they slowly begin to back away, and like form an almost like a flank, just sort of watching you all, waiting to see what you're going to do. Varus is up next. What would you like to do?
Be stunned.
Yeah, you're stunned. Kanan, you're up next. So you've just witnessed these Velociraptors show up and just rip these brains to pieces while dying a bunch of them themselves. What would you like to do?
They're retreating, right?
They're just sort of backing up, and it seems like they're watching you. Like they ran into this without thinking, and they realized, maybe these guys are a little bigger than we thought.
Yeah, Kaden will just step over to Varus.
Okay.
Just hang out.
All right. Next up is Harriet. What would you like to do?
So are all the dinosaurs the ones that we can see right now, the ones there?
Yeah.
And they look like they're like lining up, sizing us up type thing?
They look
or-
like they're backing up, like realizing, yeah, maybe we rushed into this.
Okay. Then Harriet's gonna step forward and unleash her dragon roar that she's been working on in the caverns.
Okay.
And see how that goes. And depending on how it goes, maybe cast other things. But
Okay.
yeah.
So go ahead and make an intimidation check.
With actor feat, would that just be normal, or?
I'd give you advantage, yeah,
Any-
because you've been practicing this over time.
She's been working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, 18.
Ooh, good.
You let out this roar, and you see him like shrink down and kind of look very panicked, and like begin to kind of look like they're getting out of there.
Okay. Then she'll just stand her ground, making eye contact with each of them. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
that's all. She won't cast anything.
All right. Ezekiel, anything you'd like to do?
My turn's pretty simple. You take a step forward. I'm gonna hold action to shoot one if they try and charge us.
All right, you got it. Next up, since I forgot to add a turn for the Velociraptors, we'll just use the Intellect Devourers. Yeah, they turn and run off, darting through the trees and bushes and whatnot. And we are out of combat.
Well,
Once I can take the...
That was certainly something.
Good over there, Varus?
Oh,
Oh dear. You good?
it hurts.
We can stop and take a break if you need.
Yeah.
God, Zarius.
Huh?
Oh dear. I think a break might be what we need.
Our intelligence only went down by 3 points.
Okay.
Maybe not here.
Why not? Oh. Never mind.
Yeah, let's walk, continue down the path a ways, and then find a place, sit down, gauge where we're at. If you need, I can patch up minor things.
I think I'm pretty good. Seems like they're a bit out of it, but I don't know. Those like the same creatures we saw in Renabod.
The brains? We didn't see any
No,
brains.
the ones that ate the brains.
Oh,
that
they were
sounds-
bigger there, though. These ones were small.
But, you know, creatures come in different sizes. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Oh, they do. I wonder if there's larger brains then.
Not in your head.
That was good. That was good.
Well, I sure hope not.
We going then?
I think so. As long as we can herd Varus over there.
Huh?
Got hit in the head.
I feel great.
Ooh,
As
dear.
you all are trying to figure out, are you wanting to take a rest right here, or you wanting to take a rest somewhere else, or what's the plan?
No, now when people think.
I think. I don't know.
Further down, not
Probably walk a little bit,
Okay.
but not through any doors or anything.
Okay.
Staying in this realm piece.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check. Whoever's leading
got you.
the way.
Sure.
Okay, 15. You take a look around, and you notice that the path looks like it weaves up to your left on the map, or the right side of the map, but your left as a character. And it seems to just go straight over to, to continue to wind throughout the forest, and go through another ravine and those kinds of things. Whereas down below, straight down, it seems to widen up and open a little more. You do catch, with a 15, just the faintest whiff of what smells like smoke. So it's hard to pinpoint it, but you'd guess it's somewhere along like this downward area. You're not quite sure where with that roll. It smells just like, not like a whole raging forest fire or anything, but it smells like a campfire.
Hey guys, I think it's like down the path to the right. I smell some smoke. I don't know if maybe that means there's more people.
Out of the directions that Zoan gave us mentioned areas with lava.
It smells like a
I see.
campfire.
Does
Lava,
a
I imagine,
campfire
would
have a
smell
distinctive
like
smell?
Yeah, campfire has a very distinctive smell. Like the most distinctive.
I smell
Must
pretty
be
good.
a tabaxi thing, I guess.
Do we want to stop? Do we want to stop before we get to this campfire smell, or
Well, that would be like 10 meters ahead, so not far.
all right? So we keep
Sounds like we
going.
all need to take a rest. Let's walk a little bit down the path so we're not next to the pile of brains.
I want to sleep by a campfire.
We can have our own campfire.
We can. Oh, we
Can.
can. My head hurts.
Well, why don't we'll hike up into these bushes a bit, like here.
Do you want to go towards the smoke?
This is just away from the smoke for now while
Okay.
we take our rest. So be this direction.
Okay. As you pass by this sort of crossroads in the path, you do notice too, there seems to be a bit of fog kind of hanging around that lower path area. It doesn't look, dangerous or anything. It just looks like fog. But it hasn't been present elsewhere in the forested area that you've been in.
Well, I get the feeling we're gonna need to go near the fog. But for now, let's
Okay.
rest up here. We can go around this rock and hide up here and rest.
Oh,
Alright.
Zarius, are you coming?
Oh, Lord. Nothing. Tension. I was thinking about it. Campfire.
Okay. So you all taking a short rest?
So, yeah.
And another one.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
think so.
Go ahead and use hit dice if you'd like to. Take about an hour.
Nice. Oh, this is Varus, not Zarius. Nice. Varus is too dumb to regain hit points. Okay, that's better. Uno mas. Nice.
Wow.
His brain is like, we're not recuperating.
What can you do?
Okay.
3 ones.
As you're sitting in this space and, just kind of taking stock of your surroundings and resting, you do notice nearby, hidden right next to the tree, although hidden is maybe too strong a word for it, another trap. It looks like somebody's attempt at a bear trap, but it looks like there's no trigger mechanism. Like, it just looks so poorly put together that there's no way to set it off, except for, like, the center point is like a weight thing. So if you step hard enough, it would, close, but then if you just lift your weight off of that foot, it would open again. So it just doesn't look very well put together, and it's not very well hidden. But you do notice this trap sitting there.
It's like another one of these beginner traps.
Exactly, like the trash can that opens with a flip over. Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
So, I mean,
There's
maybe
a
we'll
lot-
meet who's making them eventually.
I think we should step on it.
Sure, go ahead. I mean, just don't step hard.
Varus will waddle over and just stomp his foot on it.
Okay. It closes shut. It's fairly dull, but it hurts. You take a point of emotional damage. Of feeling betrayed.
Oh. That was a painful button.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
It is a bear trap.
much of one.
Only for people like Varus.
Boris, are you okay?
My head hurts.
You didn't close your eyes while we were resting here for a long while.
Those brains do anything.
Head hurts.
I don't know. I think Varus is just.
I don't know him very well, so
I don't know.
I need a nap.
That's what we're doing. You take
Oh.
one.
Okay. And Varus is gonna go and just kind of lay down and shut his eyes.
wait.
Okay.
You're an elf. You don't sleep. Oh, okay.
They don't have to sleep. They can sleep.
Oh, okay.
Just can't be put to sleep by magical means.
Meanwhile, Fetch fighting it with an intellect devourer in
As
the
soon
back
as
wild.
Varus falls asleep, there's gonna be a dream. So, just be ready.
Oh god.
All right, yeah.
I can't
Wake
wait.
up. No.
Um,
Varus is just chilling until somebody
okay.
looks at him.
Knock him out.
So you all enjoy the benefits of a short rest, though some may be less than others. But you have the rest of the journey. You hear just a lot of the same forest noises, lots of rustling in bushes, kind of spike your adrenaline every now and then, but you calm yourselves down and, see there's nothing that you found. The smell of campfire has continued to emanate around the area, and the fog just seems to drift down, and once it hits this midpoint on the path down here, it sort of just dissipates. So what would you like to do?
Well, that was something, I guess.
I mean, keep your eyes out for dragons.
Found one.
Varus!
Oh,
Olivia!
Harriet!
Oh no!
All right, I'll just go ahead and we'll head towards the foggy smoke.
Okay.
Found one.
Had to sneeze, sorry.
How dare you?
Bless you.
So you head down, and again, you do see that fog begin to grow a little bit thick. It's just coming down. It's fog, doing fog stuff. But as you reach about here, Kanan, you do notice the dim light of a campfire burning off to your left.
That way.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, which way is left? Hey, Kanan's gonna send a message to Zarius.
Okay.
And say, hey, you guys stay back, stay quiet. I'm gonna try and sneak up and see what this campfire is about. And then she'll whisper the same thing to Ezekiel since he's right there.
Okay.
Would you like me to travel with you?
You seem pretty good at that, so
Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Healthy scout time.
Okay. You both sneak in.
Yes.
I'm babysitting.
Make your stealth checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, 20 and a 21. Perfect.
Ooh.
You feel pretty hidden. You're doing a good job of remaining hidden and moving pretty stealthily. There's a lot of noise anyway, so it's easy to cover your movements with the different rustlings and bushes and those kinds of things. So you can feel free to approach as long up to about here. It's about as close as I'd say you can get.
Okay, that works for me.
There?
Yep, right about there. So you can put yourself wherever within there. And you see a bunch of these small, ugly little creatures. They're about 3 feet tall, and they're like bald on top, and they have this like frizzy side hair that goes out. The big bulbous noses, sloped brow, very like pursed, frumpy lips, and they're blue. They all have kind of a pot belly, almost, very like a pill shape almost.
What in the Smurf is this?
They're less Smurfs, more like minions. Their necks kind of blend into their shoulders. They're really ugly and awful looking. They're very, very ugly. But you see one of them, they all look basically identical. They have a few different features. You know, one might have a mole somewhere here, or their nose might be just slightly larger. But they all look like copies of the same thing, which is very strange. You see, all of them are wearing basically the same thing. You know, it's just whatever scraps of leaves and cloth and stuff that they can find. But one of them, this one here, is wearing what looks like a miner's jacket, although it's been patched so many times and so poorly that you can barely recognize it as a miner's jacket. The only thing that really makes it notable is that it's different from the rest of them. The other thing you notice is that all of the rest of them that you can see, which there are several, are communicating, but it's not in any language that you know, and it doesn't even seem to be like full sentences. It's just like they'll utter one or two words at a time. But this one here with the miner's jacket, he is speaking. Let me see which language. Sorry. Do any of you speak? No. Scratch that.
No.
I forgot. I had changed these and I forgot to change them in my notes. You hear him speaking in common to these, and he's saying, "Yeah, once you get to my level, then you can make the decisions."
Hayden's just gonna look at Ezekiel like,
Ezekiel returned the confused look.
Caden's gonna like signal to Ezekiel and just
Can I roll insight to see if I know what
Yeah,
that is?
definitely. 19. You get a pretty good sense. Seems like she's communicating that she wants to creep up and scare him.
yes, yes. This is why you're my husband.
That's the reason.
Don't you have your message spell that you used like 2 seconds ago?
Yeah.
She's a dummy. She's a...
No, I
It's okay.
am.
Luckily, Ezekiel is somewhat familiar with like hand motions because he does know thieves can't. But
Yeah. So you get the sense that's what Kanan's gonna do.
Ezekiel will kind of be like, "Why?" But he's not gonna stop Kanan.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's gonna walk by him anyways, because that's the way she would go.
Oh boy.
I'm sneaking up on him. You
Why?
can if you want to. Well, they're tiny and they look stupid, so.
Shouldn't we just leave them alone then?
Well, yeah.
Just for a point of clarity, though, you all have been wandering through this forest for a couple hours and don't know where the exit is. So,
Kanan's still sneaking.
yeah, I'm just
Gonna
Okay.
try to like sneak up to like here.
okay. Yeah,
Going
with,
from like
go ahead.
where is it? Going
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, your stealth check from before is plenty good enough to.
Oh, oops.
Oh, that's fine too. 24 is great. Yeah, you managed to make your way up there, no problem, and you're pretty
Okay.
close to these things.
Ezekiel will stay like, we'll sneak up that same direction but way further back.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Keeping an eye on Kanan.
Okay, so Kanan's going to slide her dagger out of her waistband
Oh my gosh.
really slowly, and then she's going to get on her haunches and wiggle her butt a little. And then she's going to launch and then tackle him to the ground
Okay.
and say, "Show us the exit."
Oh no.
Okay.
Diplomacy went out the window.
This
So-
one's the one with the jacket, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's way too big for him, by the way. Like the jacket hangs to the ground, and it drapes all off his shoulders. Go ahead and make it an athletics check, and he's gonna make an acrobatics check because he's trying to avoid being tackled.
Do I get it?
It doesn't
I know I
matter
don't.
because he rolled a 3. So
Oh. I'm sorry,
Feel bad for
dude.
both of you.
So you leap, pouncing onto this small creature who you very easily overpower. You can feel he's weak and frail. And you have the dagger out, and you say,
Show us where the exit is.
and you see all the other ones kind of startled, scatter a little bit and hide into the bushes, and they hide pretty well. You got a hard time counting how many there were before, and now you can't see all of them. But you see him go, what? What? Who are you?
I'm not answering any questions.
Well, I can't.
I want the way out.
How did you get in here?
Well, we came in here.
Well, then go that way.
We're looking for an illithid colony.
I
We
don't
need
know what
to
that
find
is.
flowing lava.
You tall
Wait,
creatures are all the same, always wanting this thing or that thing and not giving anything in return.
Kanan's gonna stab him with her dagger real quick.
Oh my god!
Okay.
What?
Make an attack roll.
Ezekiel is
21 hits.
What on earth?
Are you trying to kill him?
No, just hurt him.
Okay.
Stick it in his arm or his leg.
Okay. Not knowing this creature's anatomy, you very nearly kill him. He begins bleeding a lot. For a creature this size, and with how much combat you've seen, you know he will die in a matter of seconds.
Oh gosh. Oh shit. And then
Okay.
Kanan's gonna cast Cure Wounds real quick.
Okay.
Now it's
Ezekiel has at this point walked up, seeing, kind of watching what Kanan has been doing. Oh boy.
You bring him back from the brink of death. He's like, what is happening?
Kanan, what are you doing?
Well, I figured we need to know the way out.
He seems like a reasonable person. Just talk to him.
They
What
look
if we're
like
stabbing?
purple plums, and you think they're reasonable?
Well, he talks reasonably, at least.
If you really want the way out, good luck getting it from any of these idiots. They can't even speak common.
Oh.
We came from that direction, but
Yes,
We're
we've been
looking
hearing
for-
you trollopsing about the jungle. So
looking
clumsy and
for-
loud.
we'd be
You
glad
didn't
to
hear me
leave.
come up on you.
That's beside the point.
We'd be
Clumsy
glad to
loud.
leave.
Kanan
We're
will push
looking.
him and get off of it.
Every time.
Jeez.
Does he push him back? Okay. He stumbles backwards and falls on his butt.
Sorry about that. We're
I'm
looking for a different exit than the one we came from. Do you know of anywhere that leads out of the forest?
Maybe I do. What's it worth to you?
Your life?
Kill
would
me, don't
very
kill me,
much-
I don't care.
I would very much recommend that you go with what my compatriot says, is I do not doubt that they will fully kill you if you do not.
And then you will be stuck down here. Forever.
Um,
I'm certain you're not the only thing down here that knows a way out.
How many things have you met down here that can get out?
Like 2, one of which attacks us. So,
before we get too far, what do you want?
As you can see, he stands back up and straightens his jacket, kind of dusts it off. He says, I am a man of culture. I am the speaker of this tribe of Exvarts. So, as speaker, as the noble of this bunch, I need fancy magical items.
You want magical items.
The very finest magical items, in fact.
oh, well, I have very fine magic items right here. And Kanan's gonna take both of the earrings she put in her ear and just kind of yank them out. And say, these here.
Give him corpse in hand.
Imagine. He's at the finest. Corson comes back to life. He's like, what the hell is this? What is this body? What have you done to me?
Oh my gosh.
You
We
know,
can give him the box.
The more you say it, the more I'm like, wait a minute. This is the
We condemn
terrible idea.
Corson to just be living as this tiny minor jacket wearing man. It's like a noble in the dungeon having to put up with people who don't speak common.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
Oh.
that's so funny.
That's so funny.
We give him Demixis' box, and they like come to find him, and they're like, "Who is this? How does he have it?" Sorry, like you doing your normal plan of scamming him, but actually giving him a powerful magical item is so funny to me. Oh man. Alright.
Yeah, so Kanan will take those out and be like, here, these magical earrings tell you exactly what a person's motivations are. They tell you if they're good or bad or neutral. What do you say? It's quite handy in a conversation.
Make a persuasion check.
These actually are magical. I mean, you didn't. Ooh.
10. Says, well, I don't know if you've noticed, but not exactly earring-wearing folk. It's kind of a taboo around here, you know, with our culture and all that. But, you know, you tallies never understand that kind of thing anyway. To us, we're all just the same, aren't we? And looking at these, they do look exactly the same. Like, all of these guys look pretty much identical. Since,
I don't know. If you handle them, I'll go get everyone else.
well, off
Do
she
what
is
now?
What about you? That's a pretty nice jacket you've got there.
You want my jacket?
Is it magical?
Yes.
I'm convinced.
Make a deception check.
Yes.
The problem is I'm really good at deception checks.
Yes.
And what kind of magical stuff does it do?
allows the wearer to turn invisible. Yes. It's a jacket of invisibility.
Pretty useful.
It says fully
Why don't you show
visible.
me?
Alright, I'm gonna go try and hide in this bush.
Okay. Make a stealth check. 31. Pretty good. You do a good job of doing the whole vanishing trick and into the bush. But unfortunately, as you step in, you bump into another one of these X-Farts that has gone in and started looking around where you and Kanan were hiding. And he just goes, ugh. Man. So you are hidden, and you hear the speaker go, wow, that's pretty good. That's a nice. You have to get that jacket. That's pretty good. Okay, you can visible now, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And you hear the guy just go, ah. There's a series of like grunts, and and the guy wearing the miner's jacket looks around and goes, oh, really? So you're scamming me.
Oh dear. I'm gonna look around for Kanan.
Okay, I'd say about this time everybody else could have gotten there if you're wanting to come
I'm pulling
up.
Varus and Darius by like the ear probably at this point.
Okay. All right, so everybody can come up. I can move everyone at once if you want.
Sure.
Boom. You've been moved. I'm gonna move the map here. Okay. And as soon as the rest of you approach, the speaker, yeah, they are super ugly. The speaker kind of gives you all a look up and down, kind of an appraisal, and on seeing Varus in the robes, he goes, now that is what I'm talking about. He walks over and starts like feeling the material and like touching it and really inspecting it. Oh, yeah. See, this jacket here, it's just a little worn out. It was it's one of the first from the people down here, and it's been passed down. And you've got what I'm looking for.
Mars is like reaching down and just like poking his face.
He just swats it away.
I don't think. What are we doing here? We're bargaining?
They want magical items. Is Varus's coat magical?
Yeah?
We're not giving them that.
Oh, you must have seen some of those, what are they called? The brain things, huh? Say, my elfin companion, how about we talk? Let's make a deal here.
I like talking. People say
How
I'm
about-
good at talk.
I think you're very good at it. I will show you the way out of here. And I'll show you where the treasure is. All you gotta do is give me that jacket.
I like treasure.
Yeah.
Varus, danger, Hellenian.
You could buy another jacket just like this one.
No, you couldn't.
I don't think I can.
You can.
He doesn't have a lot of money.
I know.
That's why you're going to get the treasure, right? That's why you're here?
We're
That's-
not here for treasure.
Point.
Aren't you always everywhere for treasure?
You
No.
like weapons? I like weapons.
We're not exactly the warrior type here, as you can see, and he sort of gestures around. You see, they don't have any weapons. They have, like, tools and stuff, but it's very basic.
I make my sword appear out of the ether very flashily.
Whoa. Got some skill there. So I think that's my deal. I think, you give me that jacket. And I'll show you the way out.
How do we know you'll show us the way out? I mean, I did just almost kill you.
You did. Thanks, by the way. Really. Was great.
I'm gonna insight check if he's gonna actually like let us out.
After that, I'd like to do something.
I mean, yeah, he seems like he'll show you the exit.
Can I use subtle spell and cast suggestion?
Sure. What's the save?
Let me check. Wisdom save.
Okay. What are you suggesting?
I'm going to let's see, take out
your gun and shoot it.
I'll need that for this.
That's one way to do it.
I wouldn't have gone through all this to just take out my gun. I'll take out a haversack, a handy haversack that I apparently have 2 of.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, this is a much better item to trade with for our deal. This is what you'll accept for our offer. And hold it out to him.
You know, you make a compelling case. Could use a bag like this.
Carry all your things.
I've got an idea. Since we're worried about whether or not you'll lead us there, we give you the sack now, and then I give you the robe when you lead us there.
We're not doing that.
I think it's a great idea.
Well, you already
Forrest,
sold me
you
if
want to go
I'm,
walk with me?
if I'm honest. But I like his deal too. All right.
I don't like his deal.
Different strokes for different folks, what can I say? Yeah. Me and Bert here will show you the way. See another
name
one
Ernie?
come up. He didn't tell you his name.
I sure hope it's Ernie.
You hear him kind of communicate in this sort of like clicking, guttural kind of throaty noises to the rest of them, and they all kind of nod and go about regular camp life. He says, all right, thanks for the bag. Throws it on his back. He's like, looks pretty good. It does not look good.
I think. And I'm like, it looks great and highly magical.
Does it fit him?
What's that?
Does it fit him?
No. It's like dragging on the ground
He
behind
wanted
him.
one of your coats. That's not gonna fit him either.
The miner's jacket doesn't fit him. He's tiny, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Okay.
And Ray,
Sorcery voice.
As he's walking, you hear him talking in common to the other Exvart that's there. He's like, I suckered them so good. You see this bag I got? Ugh, bunch of idiots. They're all so stupid and tall. Look at how good looking they think they are. So
Varus like
stupid.
whips his hair.
Okay, and they lead you down to the path where the fog is, and they head down that way. For this, we need to move to another map.
Whoa,
You're on the top left again.
they're huge. Varus will at some point kind of sturdily ask, hey, so you're Bert, what's your name?
My name's
I don't
not
have
important.
vision.
You don't have vision?
I don't have vision.
You don't have night vision.
I thought it was still bright. If it's dark, I'm putting my lantern back on.
No, I just forgot to add it to this screen.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Not Important.
It's like Idiocracy. Not sure. Okay. So, as you follow the Xvart along the pathway, you find yourselves continuing through the thickly jungled area. Errant branches tug and pull at your clothing, and the going is slow, at least for you. For the Xvart, the path at their height is free and clear, and he and his counterpart are having no trouble walking through, and they're just walking like they're walking in the park. The same thick chemical scent that you smelled before has grown more intense the further along the path that you've traveled, and you now see this light fog or mist suffusing the area that you saw before. It's pretty much everywhere at this point. It's obscuring your vision and heightening the intensity of your current situation. One thing Xarius notices in particular, is that the familiar feeling of being watched that has surrounded you since you're entering into this forest has vanished, and you all feel a sense of stillness in the trees around you. If you all would like to make any kind of checks or look for anything in particular in this new area or whatever, you are welcome to do so. There are a number of things to
Yeah,
find.
I'd like to.
Yeah, I'd also love to take a peek around.
Okay, so what are you looking for?
Oh, you said it's still though now.
The trees in the forest are still, yeah. What are you looking
Let's see
for?
if there's any. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, she rolled.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to just see if I can see anything in the trees, but that's it.
Okay, so you take a look in the trees, and strangely, you don't see anything. Your feline eyes are pretty well adapted to spotting birds, and you don't see any. There's no rustling in the underbrush. There's no birds in the trees. Ezekiel, go ahead.
That's good for me too. I was just gonna look for animals or creatures or stuff.
Okay. Anyone else?
Harriet's spending her time trying to tell Varus to not give that jacket to them.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. I would say one thing that you all begin to notice as well, Xarius definitely notices it first, although he may not say anything at this point, is there are more bones than you saw in the last area. In the last area, you engaged in conflict several times, but you didn't see a lot of carcasses of animals or anything like that laying around. And in this area, you see several bones and skulls of different sizes with different levels of decay and damage. You also, one thing, sorry, I meant to mention for Kanan and Ezekiel. You see in this area as you progress that there are quite a few, more than you would expect, of these large broken trees. Like they were snapped off by something or pushed over and uprooted. This area seems, aside from that, more overgrown, less populated than the other area. The Xvarts continue down, unless there's anything you all want to talk about.
That. No. No.
I'm just moving everyone, sorry.
No, I'm good then. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you continue on following the Xvarts as they venture downward, and I'm kind of moving a lot, so you all can move fairly quickly. Just follow the path.
Oh, that is a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of movement here.
This is one end. I keep hitting trees.
Boom, boom, boom,
Oh yeah, you actually can. Wow.
Just kept running into trees and then not being able to go, and now I've lost you guys. There we go.
So sad.
Harriet is thundering through the path. She's like,
Just
oh,
running
her horn gets stuck in a tree branch.
That's the reason all these trees fell over.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's not having a time.
You continue on following the Xvarts, and you find yourselves in the midst of somewhat of a canyon. The cliffs on either side of you rise up about 20 to 40 feet, with some steeper passages that could be climbed up to reach the cliff top. A massive stone arch reaches across the pathway over your head, joining the two sides like a natural bridge, and that rises up an additional 20 feet. As you travel, you catch glimpses of an ancient stone structure in a bad state of decay. though portions of the walls remain solidly intact. That's up in this area up above you. Let's see. You pass under the archway and see the path continue on. So I guess we're going to do some more moving. Sorry, I made this map really big because I like giant maps, but...
It's very cool looking.
Yeah.
There is a lot of walking.
Well, I mean, it's meant to represent the space.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it. I see the stone art you're talking about now.
Yeah. I'll move all three of you up here.
Please do, because I'm moving between all my screens and then.
Okay, so they get up to about here. Move everyone up. Hopefully everyone can see.
Oh, I see that.
Okay. So. Let's see. Okay, so. You pass under the archway and you see the path continue on while the X-Farts begin to turn towards this structure here. A few feet into the turn, they stop and turn to you, the speaker clearing his throat before saying, "The exit is in there. Well, there's a trapdoor under the largest pile of rubble in the center that will take you to an escape tunnel. It's how we come and go without being caught by the other creatures in this space."
Can Harriet insight check that just to,
Sure.
you know, not exactly the most trustworthy people ever. Not like she thinks they're telling lies right now, but. But.
Oh.
I mean, they seem like the most trustworthy people ever, so.
You get the sense that he was really trying to be deceptive earlier, and he got what he wanted, so he just dropped the pretense.
Yeah. Harriet's satisfied then.
Can you tell us where that escape hatch leads to?
Yes.
Will you?
You got another magic item?
I've got another one of those bags.
I already got a bag.
That's true.
So now that we're here, how about that jacket?
How good was Harriet's convincing?
I would say make a persuasion check, Harriet, and then make a... I'll roll for this guy for a persuasion as well.
Oh no. I don't get
Persuasion
anything for
off.
being your friend, Varus.
Oh no.
Oh.
This guy
the
is
two.
pretty compelling.
This is all my year and a half of friendship for nothing to be upsold by some little man who's about to get the robes of the Archmagi. Like, this is it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
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 Excuse me?
Why do you think? Why did I?
I didn't know how important they were.
I've been putting in the work.
Thought it
She
was
won't
like his
wear 'em,
cloak of
but she'll protect
disguise
'em.
thing.
No, he has the robes of the Archmagi that were Corzens.
Can I at least go change?
I don't care if you change. I just want that jacket.
Okay, hold on. I'm casting suggestion again and using my subtle spell again on this man.
Okay. Wisdom
And I'm gonna
save.
say,
Go ahead.
and I'm just gonna say, that jacket will not go with what you look like. It's gonna make you dumb like him. You don't want it. Trust me.
See him kind of narrow his eyes, look at the jacket, look at you, look at himself, and then he like squares up to the other X-Vart that's there and like look him up and down, look at the jacket again and say, "No, I think I want it."
Okay. I put my work in.
Varus, we got that from a very important person.
This jacket is cursed. I forgot.
It
I forgot.
Varus, I mean, as a friend, I would appreciate if you didn't want it, if I could use it later on to maybe make one of those books.
I've been wearing a cursed jacket this entire time.
Hang on, we made a deal. If anybody's getting cursed, it's me, all right? It's my jacket. I took you here. That was the deal.
The deal wasn't the jacket for getting us here, it was the bag. And if you want to ask any further questions, and she'll bring out her dagger, say, I know you're not the fighting type.
Yeah, you're right. The deal was I bring you here for the bag, and then he offered, once we got here, he'd give me the jacket. So?
He's not in sound mind. Doesn't
Hold
count.
on. You don't need to fight. You want to curse the jacket?
I just like those robes, man.
I'm gonna die in 12 years. And you like these robes?
12 years?
Yeah, I
Where'd
do.
you get that?
What?
I mean, these robes have been telling me really bad things. One of the ones that it told me was that I was gonna die in 12 years. So
Did it?
Because the
Yeah.
robes of
it's also
intrusive
been telling me
thoughts?
to kill people. So maybe we should just kill these guys.
What?
Yep.
Are we sure he's should be wearing that robe?
No, we're not.
Sounds like I'm doing you all a favor.
It sounds like maybe it's a bit too much magic for you. It'd be like, me giving you someone's hand, for example.
Look, trust me. I can handle it.
Ian is just gonna look at everyone like, is Varus okay? And do we give something like this to him?
Harriet's gonna cast fear.
Okay.
She's tired. She's done with this.
All right.
She's gonna see if they'll run.
It's a wisdom
It's
save.
another wisdom save.
Okay. Yeah, one rolled a 0, so the other one rolled a 3. So they both are very, very afraid, and they bolt. They bolt so quickly that you've got a tough time tracking them. And they rush up off this way and vanish out into the underbrush.
Good. I was getting tired of them as well. Should we talk about the robe now, or
Very powerful. I think we need Varus back first. We can't trust what he says.
Right here.
No, you're not right there. Very wrong there.
well, I guess we have our next direction now, inside this strange building.
We might well get moving, in case they get brave enough to come back.
All right, so you're approaching the structure.
I think
Sure.
so.
All right. You notice as you approach that the amount of bone and skull debris is greater here, and that the building looks fairly well constructed. Surprisingly well, in fact. It appears to have once been a large pylon almost, and you can make out enormous text inscribed on the portions of the walls that remain. The text appears to be in the same style and type as you saw in the cave with Ricos, those of you that were there, and you presume it to be giant, but none of you speak giant, so you don't know for sure. Based on the amount of debris and the size of the text, you assume that this tower was once very, very tall, at least 100 feet. Inside, is anyone entering inside to the little area?
I was hoping someone would be with me, but
It's just Ezekiel, I guess.
I guess it's just Ezekiel looking
Harriet will
in.
be up there.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, and Kanan. Okay.
I'm just not physically moving.
So, inside, you do notice a large pile of debris at the center that appears to be piled in order to conceal something underneath, just like the X-Var mentioned. You also notice that portions of the floor have been eroded away in a strange way. Otherwise, the tower seems peculiarly free of vegetation and overgrowth. If you all would like to look around, investigate the area, you can check for anything. Feel free to do so. Just let me know what you're looking for.
I think I want to know because I want to check because I was taking notes earlier. Does this look like a burial place of any sort?
Make a history check. I would say you have advantage because of your job.
So,
16. It's obviously not a regular grave.
Yeah.
Much is pretty clear. But with the size of the chamber, the evenness of the ceiling, and like the purposefulness that seems to have gone into this space, you get the sense distinctly that this probably was some kind of memorial or something like that. Can't be sure without the understanding the text, and you haven't found any specific debris to prove that. But you get this hunch. That's what it is.
Okay.
Well, any thoughts?
This place kind of reminds me of some of the memorials I've seen in my past. Not sure if that really means much, but
Well, it seems like
it's
you're
kind
a
of strange.
trustworthy source on that sort of thing. We haven't seen any names or dates or anything around.
I mean, there's some strange text on the wall, but I can't read it.
That must be it.
Regardless, the rubble pile in the center. It's not what they said.
It is. Would you like to go look at it?
I'd like someone who's stronger than me to try and move the rubble.
I'll go ahead.
Okay. Just as you approach, the pile of debris does appear to indeed conceal a door-like object on the floor. Could be a door, could be more debris. You'd have to move the entire pile to find out for sure. But as you're getting close and like beginning to start moving this stuff out of the way, the floor, what you notice on the stone floor, the erosion is eerily reminiscent of the erosion that you've seen at several abandoned towns in the territory of Haversteep. You recognize this to be stone melted by acid. Though here, apparently, pools of acid have sat long enough to melt through about 2 feet of stone flooring, creating these bowl-shaped depressions.
I've got to be careful over here. Lots of damage, but Kanan,
Yeah?
you want to help me move some of these rocks, maybe?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And try and move,
Okay.
not stepping in the acid pools. I
Yeah,
guess.
there's nothing there right now. It's just
Okay, it's just they have been.
Yeah. It has been eroded. Go ahead and make your athletics check with advantage if Kanan's helping you. And you all hear in the distance heavy wings beating as Harry begins to clear out the stones. You get about halfway through the debris pile, and you hear a ferocious roar. And circling high above, you see a massive black dragon
Oh boy.
swirling around, beginning to descend. He lands on the top of the wall here and roars down at you, letting out a ferocious roar. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Woo boy.
So,
Oh shit.
yeah, so that's it. Thank you to our viewers for watching, and thank you to the players, of course, for playing. I always have such a fun time. That is where we're going to end it.